Good evening, everybody. This is the Monday night stunt hanger chat at the bench, and I just gave you a 15-minute speech thinking I was online, but I wasn't. But what I was. Good evening, everybody. This is the Monday night stunt hanger I am chat talking in the background, at the bench, and I just gave you a 15-minute speech thinking I was online, but I wasn't. But what? Okay. Duh. I told you we were getting this figured out one way or the other. But anyway, okay, looks like I got one viewer. So what I want to talk about is that when we're doing these chats, there are a bunch of people watching us over on YouTube and are not able to get in here with us to talk to us and join into the chat. So one thing I wanted to make sure you understand is that there's a chat box over there on YouTube that y'all can see from the YouTube page, and you can chat amongst yourselves, that yourselves being the people that are just watching us on YouTube. But we cannot see that over here. So that's why if y'all are clamoring to get in, wanting us to tell you how to get into the stream with us, that's why we're not answering you, because we don't realize that you're over there posting. So I wrote, for those of you who are members of Stunt Hanger and know where to go to get the link to the stream. Hey, Steve. For
Hey,
those,
Rusty.
let me finish up here for just a second, and I'll be right with you. For those of you, I lost my I lost my train of thought now. What I'm getting at is you guys watching over on YouTube. Like I said, we can't tell when you talk in the chat box over there. So if you want to join the stream here, the first thing you need to do is be signed into Google, or signed into Google gives you access to Google and YouTube. They're one and the same entity, so you can enter both with the same password. But when you're signed into Google, you get automatically access to Google Hangouts. And if you are subscribed to Stunt Hanger already, then you may get notifications on YouTube that we've started a video chat, and it should have a link in it. If you click that and are already signed into YouTube, then you'll drop right in here with us. You'll see your Google Chats open, your camera will light up, your microphone will turn on, and you'll have to follow some prompts and sign the little user agreement, and then you'll drop right in here with us. I think it's that simple. But if you're not a member of Google, if you don't have a Google account, that's the first thing you need to do, is to go up to the top right, and it'll either say sign in or join, and go ahead and set up a Google account, and it'll prompt you through things like setting up your microphone and your camera. It'll also give you an alternate email address that is any email address you want to use to receive notifications by, so that when we come on here, you'll also get a notification in your regular email, if that's the way you prefer it. Google wants to have an alternate email in order to get in touch with you in case you're not responsive on your Gmail account. So I never check my Gmail account. But I hope that helps some of you figure out how to get in here. And if you're a member of Stunt Hanger, shoot us a question. Read the little write-up I did in both posts on Stunt Hanger this evening, and that might help explain some of the things that I just tried to tell you. Meanwhile, the next couple of days, I'm going to make a video with screenshots. Hopefully I'll get that done before the next chat comes, so look out for that, and it will probably do a whole lot better job explaining what we need to do to all get together than I just blathered out right here a minute ago. So that was my third try at it, because I didn't realize I wasn't live the first time I did my premiere act, but that was a pretty good cover up. So anyway, how's everybody doing tonight?
Pretty good. I was just gonna say, I always use my tablet or my phone. And
Yeah,
for me to get on now, I have to go into the Hangout, Stunt Hanger Hangouts.
yeah,
And then you put up something to click on. When I
yeah,
click on it, it just asks me if to sign the agreement, and then bang, I'm on.
right.
That's the only way I can get on with a tablet. I've never tried with a computer.
It's probably
It's
about the
different.
same, but they set up the way it looks differently, and I don't know what y'all are always seeing when I tell you what I'm seeing on this side, so that makes it a little confusing. But I hate that when we get off and I look right before it finally clicks off, there's a chat box out there on YouTube, and people have been clamoring over getting in. Please help us, get into the chat. And we never know it here because we don't see, we've got a chat box, but it's our own, and it doesn't cross over for some dumb reason. But yeah,
Yeah,
as long as
if
you
I
got a Google account and you're signed in, it should be bang bang seamless. Click a link, whether it's in a notification or off a stunt hanger, and you should come right in.
it used to be that all I had to do is, once I got the notification, was to go to Google Hangouts, and it would bring me right in, but it doesn't do it that way anymore. When I had problems there getting on for like a month, the only way I could do it is that go back to Google Hangouts that you guys, I mean, Stunt Hanger Hangouts,
Yeah,
find the link, click on the link there. But like I said, I've never tried it on a computer. I've always just used my tablet or a phone.
yeah, yes. But especially the phone's different when you can open on a computer. You can open a bunch of tabs across the top and jump easily right between them for different things. But phones don't look at all like a PC monitor does. So, and I hate using telephones. It's like looking at the internet through a keyhole.
Yeah, well, it just messed up now, and I can't see anybody.
Yeah, I know. You went black on us too.
Yeah. Hey, Rusty.
Hey, bud, what's going on?
Not too much. That look familiar?
It's a TD of some sort. Is it a '09 or is it a smaller one?
TDs are the red body. I thought it was a medallion.
Oh, that's a medallion. You're right.
I think that's an '09.
Yeah, that's a TD.
And
Medallions are great engines. You can run them off of hard tanks, and they are run easy to crank, easy to draw a full tank of gas. But TDs do not do well without pressurized fuel.
oh, and even that one, I found a selection of my dad's stuff. A baby bee.
Yeah.
This is the one I couldn't believe. A peewee that still turns over.
020, hold it up higher.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. I've never had an 020. In fact, up until recently, I'd never had an 010, but I have one that belongs to Ron Cribbs from Cox Engine Forums, and I built a little micro ringmaster, and he was coming over this way to work on some equipment. He installs and calibrates the avionics at Air Force bases. So he comes through here about every year. So last time he brought his a little 010, and we flew it in the churchyard across the street on 15-foot lines, and it screamed too. It about turned him into the ground. My run was a little leaner, and I crashed it trying to make it flip over and fly upside down. But every time we tried to flip it, it just rolled in. Needed more tip weight.
Yeah. But, yeah,
That was
with the one in the box, it's still wired. But I don't know if everything's still in the box. It's an old in the box TD.
049.
New, but it's old.
Is it a 049?
Yeah.
Yeah. I love those. Those are great engines. I've worn my favorite 051 out. I had it on my first baby flight streak, and I mean, it's got a lot of flights on it, and it's finally gotten to where anytime you try to do an outside loop, it cuts off and cuts back on, but it burps. And so I think that the piston fit's just too sloppy now, and the outside loop's rushing gas up past the piston faster than the glow plug can handle it.
Have you tried to reset the rod in it?
Yeah, it never seems to change. It's always pretty tight. Those things are, when they're new and you're just breaking them in, you have to reset them a couple of times, I think. But once they get work hardened, this one seems to be following that trends too, and it has not loosened up any. And yeah, I've checked it since it started doing that, and it's got a tiny little movement to it. But I hate using that tool. I've mushroomed so many pistons that I kind of shy away from using it. But if it gets slack enough to where I'm worried about it pounding a hole in the top, then I'll go ahead and do it.
Okay.
All right, I might need to inspect my reset tool. They can have a little burr or something that'll cause you to mushroom it if it's not sitting quite right in there. And I have mushroomed a couple of them.
Okay.
But I've also got a new 049 piston cylinder set in the drawer. This brand, it's one of Bernie's brand new ones, and so I might screw that on there and see how it works.
Yeah, hopefully that old engine's new life.
Yeah, I could try just screwing the cylinder on top without even having to take the piston out, but I'd rather go ahead and find out which one's the one that's the culprit. I'm sure it's the cylinder.
Yeah.
And the new Bernie cylinders ought to work a little better than the old Cox ones too, because they're the single flute cylinder like that came on the Sure Starts, but Bernie has lowered the exhaust deck and taken the bar out of the slit, and that pretty much replicates the later Cox TD cylinders before they sold out to Estes. The early TD cylinders had two flutes on each side of the bypass, and they later figured out that one flute gave higher performance. It allowed a better swirl in the scavenging action. And if I say much more, I'll be bullshitting and making it up. But yeah, they do reportedly actually run better, but you have to have the SPI. So he lowered the deck, but took the bar out. It's got the single flute, and they run really, really well.
Yeah, the double fluted, what I started out as the Golden Bee.
No, you're talking about bypass. That's a double bypass, but the TDs had a little bit taller, very narrow flute that was ground in vertically parallel to the bypass ports, each one. The early TDs had one flute on each side of the bypass ports. The later TDs had one, they call them boost flutes, on the side of the bypass port. And they found out that the single flute cylinders ran better. And later on, that was the same porting that the Sure Starts had, except that they raised the deck on the Sure Starts to take the SPI out and put that bar, that anti-fire bar across the port. And honestly, that bar doesn't really inhibit the engines as much as people feared, because it turns out that they were way over let's just say the width of the exhaust port was way oversized than what it needed to be to do the job. And some people say that the ones with the slit bypass port does not reduce performance, but I like the ones that are wide open anyway.
Yeah, see, I never knew there was a difference. I know that the ones in the crystal cases,
Yeah, that
that
probably.
was flying in pylon 049 pylon.
Yeah.
I gave him one of them with that out of that crystal case, and it was the fastest motor he ever had. I mean, for some reason it was really fast, and other TDs just did not keep up with it.
Yeah, those tiny engines are so sensitive to tolerances that it's almost impossible to make two that are just alike, even with the tolerances that Cox claimed. They just I guess it's just hard to make something that small as consistent as you can make a bigger engine. Because these guys with the high dollar Randy engines and all, they run those and say that you can put 10 of them together, leave them box stock, fuel them all up with identical conditions, and they'll all run just the same. But the small engines, like the Coxes and all, but others are just inconsistent by nature.
Oh, okay.
But the Norvels now, they kind of disprove some of that. Those are some badass little engines. I love them. Have you ever used a Norvel?
Yeah, I
Before
couldn't get to run with the crap on the one I got.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think I wore it out with a starter trying to get it started.
That'll do it. And if you follow the Norvel and NV Engine's instructions, they'll have you ruin the engine before it ever cranks the first time too, because they're difficult to crank. They're so tight in the pinch, they're really hard to crank the first time. And I think they got sick of people calling them on the phone and couldn't crank them, and finally just told everybody without saying it, just wear the fucking things out and then they'll start. But the easiest way to start a Norvel the first time is to take the head and plug out of it and screw a Cox glow head into it with a couple of shims, head washers, and it'll crank right up. Run it through a tank with that, and then put the Norvel head back on it, and you never look back.
Yeah, I think I still have it. I think I wore it out though. It won't start at all now. I got it started. It started bad, and
that sucks. They are such wonderful engines. They flat scream. They'll outrun you if you're not, if you're used to Cox's, even TDs, and you put a Norvel on a plane, a really light plane, it'll get ahead of you in a big hurry.
okay.
And the little AMEs like we run on half-A combat planes. I say I got one combat plane with an AME on it. It's a higher performance than a big MiG, but basically the same thing with different porting. And it's an earlier engine, but they'll blow the doors off a big MiG, and a big MiG is a really fast engine to begin in its own right.
Yeah, I don't know what, my brother's got a 049, and I'm not, I forget, the AP?
Wasp. AP,
No.
yeah, that's a knockoff. That's a Norvel knockoff.
Oh, no, it may be a Y, not a YS, a CS, I think. I don't know, but that thing is fast as crap. But he flies that in speed.
Yeah, I've heard of them. I don't know anything about CS engine stuff.
Yeah, I think it's a CS. Maybe it. Well, they're really hard to find anymore and stuff. And I forget what his airplane was flying last year. He did pretty good with it there at the Nance.
What'd you say he was doing speed?
Pardon me?
Did you say he was flying speed or racing?
Speed. Yeah, over there at the Speed Circle last year.
Yeah. Hey, Steve.
Hi there.
Welcome. How are you doing tonight?
I'm good. How about you guys?
Oh, we're good.
In there.
Hoping we can get some of these guys that have been having so much trouble figuring out how to get in.
I got right in.
Good. Now, have you been in with us before?
For a while, but thought I'd try to get in tonight.
Good. Now, have you been in with us before?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, good.
I think last time was in March.
Really? Okay. Yeah, we kind of laid off for a while. But and it was just on and off because Sparky had to be out of town. But that's why he gave me the keys to the Hangout, so that we'd have somebody here when he couldn't do it. And so I'm happy to host it. It's taken me a while to get the hang of it too, and we've been having trouble with people being able to jump through the right hoops to get in here. I finally figured out it's because they're not logged into Google.
Oh,
When you have to be logged into Google to get in here, as far as I know. Are you logged into Google on your browser right now?
I am now. It made me log in
Yeah.
after
Okay.
I clicked the link.
I think a lot of people that are trying to get in haven't signed up with Google, and that's probably what the problem is, because they sit over on the YouTube side and watch it and then chat with each other and don't realize we can't see the questions in their chat box over there. We got a different chat box over here. So it's been kind of a Chinese fire drill lately, to put it lightly. But I wrote up in Stunt Hanger some instructions, and I'm going to try to make a how-to video. So maybe we can get everybody on the same page here. We can get some good crowds.
If you got a Gmail account, you're automatically signed up.
That I would think would be right, because
Google.
you gotta join Google to get a Gmail account.
Yeah.
I do have one.
No problem.
And then,
Yeah, if you just
Getting
and then you get notifications up there at the top right of the Google page or the YouTube page that tells you that we're doing a chat, and you can just get the link out of there to go into it.
I thought maybe Sparky would try to get on from the motel tonight.
He said he might try to get on. Depends on whether he's got good enough access or not. I guess this will be my first solo flight if he doesn't show up.
Yeah, I had problems around Kentucky.
You're doing all right.
So far, so good.
You're doing all right.
All right. Thanks, Mike. I need to get some more things written down before I start, talking points in case things go dead. I'm not prepared in that way. I don't have anything for show and tell. I'm not set up in my shop like some of y'all are.
Yeah. I dug my show and tell out of my storage locker of my dad's stuff. All these coxes. And I've got a bunch of Royal Spitfires. And I've even
broke up. You got
Hornet that's missing the roofs.
I think we talked about half-A's and coxes more tonight than we have in the whole previous time this Hangout's been in existence. Sparky doesn't want to talk about them. Or it's not that he doesn't want to, he just doesn't do that stuff. I think he, like all of us, he probably did when he was a kid.
Yeah.
Well, that's what got me and my brother doing it was.
That's how so many stories go. Well, my dad put a Stuka under the Christmas tree, and we took it down to the schoolyard and slagged it on the first flight. And then I had this engine to use, so, and things like that. That's what I did. My dad was a master gluer, though, so he managed to put that Stuka back together a few times and get it going. And I'd do not even a wing over, but more just like a big bell curve straight into the ground. And so one day he shows up from work, gets a PT-19 out of the car, and then we were in business. And I crashed it, and I crashed it, and I crashed it, and I rubber banded it back together, but I finally got to where I could fly a full tank out of it. I just wish I'd read the instructions before I ever flew it, or else I wouldn't hold the handle backwards today. My dad says that he had done this before, and he said, okay, hold the handle like this, and this is up, and this is down. And that's the way I've flown ever since. Overhand fist and up, which would be
that's the Canadian. That was a Canadian way to fly.
And down. So yeah, oh, is it? I guess that's
Yeah,
better.
they fly
That's better than the Australian way, where they have to fly the other way around the circle.
When was the last time you saw one of those in that shape?
What, a reverse flying control line plane?
Uh,
Is that what you're asking me, Mike?
no, it's a regular. When did you last time you saw a top flight nylon in that kind of shape?
Oh, I got to click on you so I can see it. Oh, they're okay. Now I can see it. Oh man, that one's in even the paint's still really red. All mine are pink.
Yeah, it was on this baby bee, which doesn't turn, but
Yeah.
I have not seen one in that shape. Usually more like that one.
Yeah. Just for, I'm gonna have to call y'all Steve number 1 and Steve number 2.
Okay.
Steve, you Steve number 2 with the red shirt right now. You can be number 1 tomorrow. And
My last name is Hein.
You see our faces down at the bottom of the screen. If somebody's holding something up or you want to see just what they're doing, click on their picture and it'll lock you onto their screen. And then when you want it to go back to automatic switching, just click that same box again.
Okay.
Okay.
But everybody seems to have a pretty good connection tonight. And there's adjustments on this screen for that. If you mouse up towards the top, you'll see that bar click up. And you can lower your bandwidth if you're jerky or having trouble like that or whatever.
Yeah, I got a little Top Flight 049 wooden prop. That thing is cool as crap.
I think I got a Top Flight wooden prop too, but I'd be you should be scared of the plastic ones. I guess the wooden ones are probably okay. You might want to refinish it if it's got any wood exposed, any wood exposed. But
the nylons, they get brittle. They're dangerous.
They are, yeah, and some people will say boil them again, because you were supposed to boil them when they were new. But boiling them again does not reconnect all of the polymers in there. They are never safe after this many years. So stay out of the prop arc if you just got to run one.
Yeah.
Stay behind the prop arc.
My dad must not have run that one too much either.
That's a tornado. I got a bunch of those. Is that a bunch? Oh, most of mine are left-hand props though.
Yep.
Is that that's a right-handed one,
on a power pot? I don't remember what he had the power pot on, but this TD feels like it doesn't have a whole lot of compression right now.
Well, it might not when it's cold, but it might when it's hot. So don't give up on it until you see how it flies. And
it's got the neat thing on it.
That'll make them harder to start. And you can get starter springs for TDs if you have a hard starting one, but low compression, yeah, they make it harder to start. But sometimes they run just fine for a good many more hours until they start doing what mine did and just coughing out every time you try to turn it inverted.
Yeah, this power pod's built around one of the Tatone tank mounts. That's got a big tank on it.
You got to hold it up higher. Let me see. Oh, good Lord. Hang on. Let me click on you so I can see that. Keep it there for a second. Oh, okay. All of that stuff. How much is tank? Is it that big bullet-shaped pod? Is that what the tank is?
Yeah, right here. And this
I see it. I understand. Okay.
That's a good sized tank for a 049.
Well, that ain't that big. It's probably 8 cc's, 6 or 8 cc's. That'll get you a good 90 seconds out of it. That's probably for a free flight plane, and they don't want them to run much more than that.
Yeah, free flight, or he may have been trying to use that on an RC powered soar. I don't remember what.
I don't know, but I just put bladders on all of mine, and a lot of people shy away from that, thinking they're hard to use or hard to make or that they have to be replaced all the time. But turns out once you go bladder, you'll never go back. Just go to my YouTube channel and read and watch my 2 videos. Part 1 is how to make bladders, where to get the stuff, and part 2 is about how to crank a engine and run it with a bladder. And I've had so many people over on the Cox forums convert and agree with me. Once you go bladder, you'll never go back. Because you can,
This thing probably ran on a pen bladder.
yeah, we got better stuff. We got better stuff than pen bladders. Now that's a speed plane.
That is a speed plane called a Hellraiser, a Class A Hellraiser. And that is a dueling 29 in it. I don't know if my memory was failing me or not. I think my dad flew this thing once and about got himself sick because it worked slow. But when I pulled the top off, there's no tank in it. But I'm betting they probably ran pen bladder on it.
Yeah, probably ran it on a pen bladder or a pacifier back then. But nowadays, surgical tubing does the job just nicely.
Yeah.
I got all my stuff.
I'm not going to tie me to this thing. I don't even
I
want
get
to.
all my bladder materials from TexasTimers.com, and you have to use finer thread needle valves on them than come stock on a lot of planes. But the for the big engines, bigger engines that size, and OS number 1A, I think is the right. It's an RC needle, but take that valve out of it, and I think that's the best one to use with pressure. And the some of the old Coxes were fine thread, 128 threads per inch, and Texas Timer sells them for $5 a piece or something like that.
Yeah.
15 maybe. But they press into any Cox engine, or you can mount them up. You can make all kind of ways to deliver fuel from a spray bar.
Yeah. Kind of was wondering if anyone down Sparky's way would want that thing, because I know I'm not going to tie me to that thing. To buy it.
I think you ought to fire that sucker up and get the video camera out.
I don't think the video camera would catch it long enough. I'd crash that in a heartbeat, I'm sure.
Where do you live, Mike?
I live in Colorado, southern Colorado.
Oh shit! And I was gonna say you need to make it to the Nats.
That's
Take
quite
you-
a trip for me.
Yeah, get out there and fly it and stuff.
Yeah.
Is it in good shape?
Yeah,
Is it
it's in relatively good shape. It's even got the original Top Flight 710 on it. So it'll definitely crank up some RPMs on it.
A 710. Wow, that's chopping some air.
Yeah. That's a speed prop. A very nasty speed prop.
Yeah, those things make a racket too, boy.
Oh, well bet. Yeah.
Yeah, we my brother there 3 years ago, I think it'll be 3 years this year. He was flying his 21,
Yeah.
and we launched it. And when he put his hand in the cradle
In the
and
pylon?
hit his hand on it, it threw the airplane down, and he nicked the carbon fiber prop.
Oh, gee.
The next 2 laps, it going around, it completely shredded that carbon fiber prop. Pieces were hitting me. I was ducking, and that thing went into a shaft run, and it vibrated so hard the wings fell off of it. He landed it, and then the wings just fell off on the ground. It was like
mercy.
and
That's
and
pretty
I
spectacular.
told him, I said, if I hadn't put the Loctite, the red Loctite on them nuts, or the little screws and stuff, and known that it was locked down, I would swear there was no Loctite on them. But we had everything Loctited down, and it still shook apart the damn Loctite.
Wow.
But it melted a hole right through the piston.
Oh,
Sound
I'm
like
sure.
it turned about 50,000 RPM.
You probably did.
I have no idea what kind of RPMs the old duelings turned. I'm sure it was well over 20.
Yeah.
I don't know that for sure, though.
I have no idea. I've heard of the engine, but I don't know anything about them. But it's glow. It's not diesel, is it?
Yeah, it's glow.
Is that an
Yeah, if
English?
you got onto the speed forum, they could tell you all about it.
I've got off a stunt hanger. I've looked on there, but I haven't done too much. I was kind of interested to see if anybody wanted or needed it.
Well, there's the speed circle in Ohio.
Yeah.
The one in Missouri, and I think the one at the Nats.
Yeah.
And then I think there's one in California, and I think that's about it.
Yeah.
I don't know where
There
the
aren't a
other
whole
guys
lot of people
fly.
do that anymore.
There's only about, I don't know, the guys goes and Nats, there's only 6, 7 of them at the most.
I'm going to go over to the YouTube page for a minute and see if I can see what's happening, if I can post those guys some kind of message. Let's see. Oh, okay. Yeah, I see. Oh, Steve posted over there. Minnesota Mike posted over there. Okay. I'm going to type them a little message, ask them if they heard my talk about being able to get on here. Y'all can continue to chat.
Yeah, this thing's.
Yeah, the first cock 049 that I had talk. And I was 9 years old. So that made my brother 6 years old.
Yeah.
Well, my mom said that my brother was too young to launch the airplane or mess with it. So, because I wanted to fly it. So the only other alternative was me to launch it and my mom to fly it.
Oh.
So we wanted to see it fly so bad. We had my mom fly the first flight and she crashed it. So
Yeah.
we got so mad we let my brother finally launch and then I flew it. But yeah, I mean and the bad part is that you could buy at the time you could buy a wing or whatever, and we never did buy parts for them for $1 and put the thing back together if you broke something.
Yeah. I guess our family was weird that way. The first thing I remember flying was a Gillos number 2, I think, with a 09 of some description in it.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why my dad didn't do 049, but we didn't do the plastic ones much. I've got a bunch of old antique-ish free flights in my storage too, up to and including a real antique that he built from enlarging the drawing from the 38 Zake yearbook to build a Firebird, and that is a big airplane. It takes up a lot of room. It was a British old timer of some description. I've still got the OK Super 60 for it.
Yeah, my dad never flew or nothing.
Hey,
and we seen.
Let's see. Minnesota Mike says to tell Colorado Mike that he would like to buy your speed plane. Minnesota Mike is one of our frequent YouTube watchers.
Oh,
he's one of the guys I think's been trying to get in here with us and about pulling his hair out trying to get it. But
hopefully you can get on.
yeah, they're watching us right now, and they got their chat box going over here a little bit. So while we're going, you YouTube guys, I'm gonna pop back over to the Hangout so I can see and talk to them. But I'll check back over here and see if I can see what y'all are posting.
Type in and tell him to try it the way I did it, and go to Stunt Hanger Hangouts, and then you got your post to click on that. That got me right in.
Yeah,
I cannot get in any other way, and I've been to YouTube and everything else, and I can't do it that way.
Okay. Mike, you're a member of Stunt Hanger, aren't you? Minnesota
Yeah.
Mike.
Or
Okay.
I don't know. So
Yeah.
Mike, you know,
But in the live under the open forum is the next forum down is live streams, and I posted the link to this chat down at the down in that thread, and I also posted some of the instructions about hooking up with Google if you're not already a member. Okay, so I'm gonna go back over to the chat room now. So
Okay.
I'll do that. I'll switch back and forth, because if they're watching us live, they're hearing me talk exactly right now, unless they've backed up to watch earlier parts of it.
Oh, okay.
Finally
because
figured out what's
if you,
going on here. You know, it was like had no idea why they couldn't get in, but I think that's the start of getting this fixed.
Yeah, I hope so. That would be nice that everybody is watching.
We look like a monkey fucking a football trying to get all this stuff working sometimes, you know, and then to add insult to injury, last week it was Friday. It looks to like Google or YouTube was working on their software while we were trying to use it, and
Yeah,
so
I'm
we kept
just
getting kicked off.
back.
You know,
Part.
I think Steve, you were on here when we all got kicked off at the same time Friday night, and somehow I ended up with two other dudes talking, Charles Carter and I've forgotten who else now, but we sat and talked. Oh, it was Tom Creasy, I think. We sat and talked all dadgum night long till about 1:30 in the morning.
Oh,
And
wow.
and it said, but it said we were offline.
It's cool.
We were offline the whole time. So we had a good old time, but everybody else, even Sparky, had gone bluey. So that was crazy.
well, yeah,
I don't know what.
I was talking to some guy from Sweden.
Oh, wow.
No shit, really?
Yeah, when it blew up, it put me in with him and someone else, and I finally got out of it and then relinked back up on the second link.
Yeah.
On that first,
Probably some poor guy that had been trying to get in.
On that first link earlier on, Sparky and I don't know if you were there, Rusty, or got there. We were online with a guy in Colombia.
Yeah, that's what the other one was. I was on with someone from Colombia and Sweden or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But then I end up.
Now we got some Swedish members.
Yeah.
But I couldn't tell you the names.
I went back and told them how to log back in, but we never did hear. They were talking to each other and me. And I said, well, I'm going to try to log back in again. So I went to the Hangouts, Stunt Hanger Hangouts, logged in on the second one, got in,
Nobody
hung up, went back and talked to them, and then went back again, but they never.
Sparky just said, screw it. You know, it had been enough trouble, and it was already, well, it was after. Yeah, it was late.
Yeah.
Yeah, I talked with Sparky until we finally all decided to shut it down.
Yeah.
Oh, so y'all talked some more as a group after I disappeared?
Yeah, yep. Yeah, you had to go. That's what I'm saying is I had to go back to Stunt Hanger Hangout, and he reposted the link again. And if you use the second link, even though it read the same as the first link, you hit the second link, you can talk to Sparky. You hit the first link, and you can talk to the guys from Colombia and stuff.
Yeah,
we're pretty crazy how it split it.
We're pretty sure that they were working on the software while we were using it or something. But anyway, Friday night the internet's extremely busy. Friday night the internet's extremely busy too, so that could have something to do with it.
Well, it looks like Minnesota Mike still can't get on, or he'd be on by now.
Yeah, let me pop back over there and see what I see.
Tell him to go to Stunt Hanger Hangouts. Put it into Google and Google it, and it'll bring the link right up.
I get it on through just the regular Stunt Hanger link.
See, mine won't work through that. I got to go to Stunt Hanger Hangouts and link on it there, and then I can always get in.
Yeah.
I'm gonna post the link to the stunt hanger message over there.
Because for some reason, it's like every night you're on, it's a different link. You can't use an old link.
It has to be in that night's link.
Yeah.
We're on Friday, 2 different links.
But it used to be that I could use the same link and always get in, but now it makes you take a new link every time.
Yeah. Couldn't possibly leave it convenient.
Okay.
Yeah, the only thing I can think of is that when I link on through Stunt Hanger Hangouts, it lets Google know that I'm a Stunt Hanger member or something. It lets me in there, then it lets me right into the Hangout.
Yeah.
I'm gonna post this raw link in there too. Let's see. Links down at the bottom. Yeah, there it is. Gosh. I'm having mouse trouble. I think it's time for a new mouse battery.
Hopefully,
Nah.
it's been long enough to do what you need to do.
I don't know where to go to get the link to this anymore. I already posted it over there, but I directed Mike and the other guys over to the at the bench thread to get the link. So we'll see if that works for them. I got about 15 tabs open here. I need to clean up some of this.
Let me see if I can find a screwdriver.
Well, guys, I got to take a shower and hit it. So I'll talk to you later.
Okay, Steve. Well, I'm glad you got in a little bit. We'll talk to you later. Wednesday, I guess.
Yeah, probably Wednesday before, well, maybe even Friday too, before I take off to Brodak. So
yeah.
But,
okay, man. We'll see you later.
All right. Yeah. Bye.
So are you in your workshop, Steve?
Yeah, it looks like he is.
What you got there? Let me click you up here.
He's got something.
All right. Have you got your microphone on?
This mic must be muted.
I don't know. Can't hear you, Mike. Let's see.
Or Steve. Yeah.
I mean, Steve.
Yeah. What happened to his mic?
No. I'm seeing if I got any control on it over here, but I don't. Nope, Mike Schoenecker is online. I just clicked my little mic for you, but it doesn't do anything. We can see you, but we can't hear you. Why don't you close out and then re-enter and see if they get you back.
Yeah. So Brodax is this weekend or next
Oh, yeah, that's right. It is, isn't it? Wayne's not going. That's the first as long as I've known him. But he's got a new granddaughter now, so he's all gooey over her.
Grandpa.
Yeah, he's doing granddad stuff, and I don't have any grandchildren yet. I guess if I suddenly had one, some grandfather switch would click inside of my head, Oh, there's Steve back.
Can we hear him? Nope.
All I see is your mouth moving, buddy. Well, damn.
What happened there?
I don't know.
They messing with the software
What
again?
about your microphone cable or something like that? Is it loose or messed up? I'm not seeing any green lights bumping when you talk either. I've got a mute button over here. Let me make sure this doesn't do anything. No, I muted Steve. Okay, now just
Unmuting.
I just unmuted Steve. I'm trying to unmute Steve. Come back, come back.
Where did he go? He's still muted, right?
Yeah,
You're a little.
I think I screwed up on this end. I just tried to click on and click off a mute, and then when I muted it, I couldn't unmute it. Urgh.
Come on.
Damn.
There it went.
There we go. Okay.
That didn't want to cooperate for no reason. I sure hope Minnesota Mike can get on here because I'd be more than glad to sell him this thing.
I'll go back over to YouTube in a minute and see what he's saying.
And I know for a fact I'm not a speed flyer. And I'm not a combat flyer either.
I have no idea why Steve can't talk to us.
I don't know either. Unless the sound
Everything
card
was
went out
working fine.
on the computer. I don't know. Hate it when that happens.
I don't know. You can always try rebooting your computer, but short of that, I have no clues. I'm not going to screw with my mute button on this end again, though. I didn't think I was going to get that fixed, but it's obviously working now.
Yeah. Huh. Because we were hearing him earlier. I wonder what changed.
You know, the other night, whenever somebody would log in or out, it would screw other things up with the rest of us. And maybe that's still going on tonight. And that's on Google and YouTube's end rather than ours.
That could be. Because I knew I couldn't hardly see Steve Hines at all. Just barely.
Well, that's on Steve's end. He sits in a dark room with a telephone. And you aren't much better, actually, but at least we're not looking at just the top of your head or your ceiling.
Yeah. Good grief, I'm half in shadow, half in light here.
Steve, if you are completely out of ideas, just shut your whole computer down, I guess, and then see if you can come back.
Try.
The video is still live because I can see you moving around.
We just can't hear you.
I'm going to take a look over at the YouTube crowd. Tom Creasy's on there. Says he's been on for 15 minutes.
Tom knows how to get on the
Yeah,
link. He's done before.
He always knows how to get on too.
Yeah.
Tom, can you hear me? Or he might not be looking at our live thread right now either. I'm not turning mine on or else we'll hear it echo.
Yeah. Yuck.
I seem to have lost my ability to post over there. Okay, Tom says he can hear me. Okay. Tom, are you signed into Google? You didn't accidentally sign out of Google, did you? Oh, he says no, he'll be joining in 15 minutes. Okay.
Oh. Look forward to seeing you, Tom.
Yeah. And hearing you, hopefully.
So was it you was saying you, or was it Steve saying he got to talk to Charles at some point Friday?
That was me.
How's
After
doing?
after I got kicked off the other night, Charles suddenly appeared, and then I know it was Chris. Can't remember his last name.
Chris Rudd?
No, it wasn't Chris Rudd. Chris seemed like it started with an L, a short name too, but I had never met him before.
Okay, I probably haven't either then.
But we got some good laughs, and so I have no idea how we hooked up, but it sounds like that happened with
Yeah.
other Steve too, with Steve Hines.
Yeah. Yeah, after it kicked us off or did the It's thing, I got back on several times and wound up talking to Jorge quite a little bit, but we saw nobody else forever and a day and finally gave up. Did you see that? I guess you'd call it his avatar before his picture was up. That's an actual airplane he built. It's a 2/3 scale Fleischer Storch that he flies.
Really? No, I didn't. I don't remember seeing it, but I was messing with so much other stuff, I might have missed it.
Yeah. Pretty cool airplane.
Looks like we've got 8 viewers. Well, now 7. Some who might be trying to get in. And so for you guys watching us, if you have a Google account and you're signed into it, then the links that I provided in that chat box should take you to Stunt Hanger and a thread where I've got tonight's link posted. That link should take you right into this hangout room where we are. Or if you're actually signed into Google, you would have gotten a notification on Google or YouTube that this is here, and it'll have the link straight to the hangout room too. Up in the top right of your Google or your YouTube, click on the little notification. It's either a bell or a red ball with a number in it, and it'll give you the link. Okay, here goes Steve Schonecker again.
I can hear you this time.
There we go.
Back.
What'd you do? Reboot your computer?
I did.
Okay, good.
It's been sleeping since March, so I figured it might need it.
Yeah, I need to pour some coffee in the vents or something.
Wake him up. Oh boy.
You see, I got my
Oh, that's
fucking bunny cup again
Oh, yeah.
tonight.
that's a cool cat.
That's pretty good.
Well, I went flying on last Thursday. I guess I probably mentioned that on Friday night's chat. If I had time, I was late getting in, but got some patterns in. But turned out I was flying too fast. I didn't realize I had turned it up a little higher RPM, and I'd been flying at triple tree at the contest, and so I was banging it through the patterns, doing a little weeble wobbling that disappointed me, and then realized too late that, well, damn idiot, you were flying it too fast. That's what was wrong. That's that Thunder Tiger 39 helicopter engine, and adjusting the needle on it's more like adjusting a throttle.
Oh, geez.
And so I just had it cranked up a little too hot. Nobody's ever seen that engine. I keep telling them, hey, that's a Thunder Tiger 39 Pro with ball bearings. And they said, I've never heard of that engine. And I have to flip it over and show them it sure is, but it's a reason nobody's heard of it is because it's a helicopter engine. But it's got a head and venturi for control line on it.
Why would they make it as a 39 instead of a 40?
I don't know. Some engineers came out with the ultimate properties, and that turned out to be 39. So 39 it is. But those ball bearing engines are so powerful. You know, you can fly them in a plane that recommends a much larger engine.
Yeah.
Like my Magnum, for instance, it had a 72-ounce Magnum that most people would fly with a 60 size engine, and or bigger. And I was flying it with a OS 46 FX ball bearing, and it hauled it through the sky like a screaming demon. And it would drag me off my feet too.
Yeah,
but
that's if I ever get around to using those hip pocket plans for the USA 1, that's what I'm going to put that 46 FX of mine in, is the USA. I know better than to put it in a Juno.
Just run it a straight two-stroke. That's the only way it wants to run. Just turn it back until it starts to sound rich, and let her go, and it'll stay two-stroke the whole time. Just one constant hum from takeoff to landing.
Yeah.
Is that the way you're supposed to run the FPs?
What about FP?
The 40 FP? You're supposed to run it?
This is the 40 FX. It's a ball bearing engine.
Actually,
it's way
46 FX.
It's way more powerful than a FP 40. Actually, this was a 46 FX.
Yeah.
It was in a Magnum when they gave it.
I seem to remember way back when the FP was kind of notorious for deciding to take off and scream on people.
They are. The 40s, but the 40s particularly, they've got too high a compression. But
hey, Tom.
Zambelli took my head and opened it up to lower the compression, and I put it back on, and it had a beautiful old-timey sounding stunt run after that. But yeah, they do. 40s do have a little too much compression, and on a profile plane or any plane that doesn't have a good solid mount for it will cause it to run away like that. I never had much trouble on mine until I repaired my Oriental after a crash, and then it started running away like that. And then Bob worked on it, and it was fine again.
Good evening.
I like the 35 FP. That's a beautiful running little engine.
How you guys doing?
Hey, Tom.
Out there.
Hey, Tom. Did you have any trouble getting on, or did I just misunderstand what you posted over on YouTube?
I was laughing at you because you misunderstood.
I'm hypersensitive to people that are having trouble getting on right now. So
I said I'd be on in 15 minutes.
So
how you doing?
Well,
okay.
Glad to have you.
Glad to have you. Hopefully,
Yeah, thank you.
Well, I might figure out how to get on here too.
Had a hell of a weekend.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, went to Mid-Iowa Control Liners Club event.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun. Shug Emery was there, and Jim Lee was there, and
Oh, cool.
yep, it was a pretty cool event. It got me a little toy.
What little toy you? Ooh, what is that? That's interesting.
That is an 049 Novell.
Oh,
Yeah, I was going to tell you that. Tell me, I got to click on you to see. There it is.
Yeah. Now,
Yeah, that's
see this.
a badass little engine there. That's a big MiG.
This bolts sideways, right?
Cool.
See? Guess what come with it? A little tank system.
I got a couple of those. I've never used them before.
Love it.
On bladders.
It's even got a little muffler.
Yeah,
Fitting.
that's actually a good muffler. It's not too heavy and it really silences it pretty well.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah,
Little spinner and everything. It's only been ran 4 times. $40.
That ain't bad.
excellent.
Oh, I thought it was
Does it seem
that.
does it seem to have a good pinch at top dead center?
Yeah. Yeah, it seems like a good motor. I'm
Yeah.
gonna put it on. I've got a Viper I'm gonna build. I've got the wing almost done. I'm gonna be flying it at a September, coming this September event.
Be ready for it.
Got that.
First place,
All
Baptist
right.
Stunt beginner. Congratulations, dude. All right. That is cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I missed 3rd place by 11 points on Saturday, but yeah, got it on Sunday. It was a pretty fun event. My favorite event of the whole year, actually.
Okay, so now you got to move up to intermediate, right?
Well, not yet. I don't have my two planes that I've been working on this winter.
Yeah.
One of them's half painted, the other one's primered, and I've just been so busy with work I haven't been able to do it yet.
Okay.
Oh well.
So until I get some backup airplanes, I've got to learn the pattern.
Yeah. Well, listen. Congratulations, because now for the rest of your life you can always say I flew competitive control line precision aerobatics, and nobody can take that away from you.
No, but you know, it's a beginner pattern.
That's all right.
But I've got I've got one good flyer, and I just don't want to chance it. I did do a vertical 8. I had one of the expert flyers there come in the circle with me, and he had a ringmaster. It was his, and he let me fly it, and I did a vertical 8 for the first time.
It's hard to get that thing all the way up 90 degrees. Isn't it? It's hard to realize how high 90 degrees is.
Well, let me put it to you this way. I did it, and then after I got out of it, the expert guy said, "Let's not do that again."
Let's not do that again. You made him a little nervous.
Did you do the full thing? Did you do both passes through the vertical 8?
Oh, yeah. I started going up, and then when I was up to the top, I put down control to do the outside of the loop on the top, and then I come around, and then I put up control to go back up, and I swear I think I mowed some grass.
Oh. A little low on the pull-out end.
Yeah, I don't understand. I don't understand why he said don't do that again. It was his airplane too, so I don't understand. No, I do. I'm kidding. But yeah,
I know.
I at least temper.
Yeah. Well, dry fly it in the house without an airplane. Just do it with your arm and get used to how the stunts fall in order. And they all make sense. It's just a series of difficult loops and then combinations of loops. And so, get the hang of flying through it and going through the motions.
I did score on beginner. I did score 245, but I need to get up to the 260 range. to be, be within the top 3 at the nationals this year. So I'm still a little under my.
Maybe it depends on who shows up. I don't know.
Always
To
at
do
the
the best,
nationals. At the nationals, there's always at least 10 people minimum that show up.
Really? For
Last year we had 14.
Yeah, I've never flown against that many beginners before. But
Oh, it's a lot of fun, dude. It really is. It makes it feel like a real event for me, because usually when I fly beginner, it's only like 3 or 4 people.
yeah,
But I just need to get my scores up. So I had too many experts and advanced people. I had my best buddy and tell me that if I start learning the full pattern now, by the time I get to the nationals, which is just in 4 weeks,
that's about right.
or that I'll get my head all mixed up. So they said the best time to do it is wait until after the nationals, and then I have between July until September my next event. So
Yeah.
I have time to learn the event.
Regardless of how you score at the Nats, if you can fly the full pattern, go ahead and on up to intermediate, because intermediate is just beginner for people that can manage somehow to get through the full pattern. That's the only difference it is. And then, you go from there and fly intermediate a few times, and it just depends on how you feel about your flying before that.
There's one hitch though in that. I want my name on that perpetual trophy. On that great big huge trophy. I want my name on it.
What do you have to do to get your name on that? Just be a winner. Okay.
Yeah. So in order for me
good luck.
In order for me to win it, I need to be at least in the 260 point range.
Yeah.
So I'm not too far away. Last year I was at 252 and I placed 5th place. So the winner, I think
that's a pretty good score.
I think
that's a pretty good score.
The winner last year, it was either a 262 or a 267. I can't remember. So
some of those guys may actually belong in intermediate already. People that are flying shapes that good.
The guy that won it last year, he just started flying first time in control line 3 months before. Wow. And I mean, this guy is just got a natural hand. He's just a natural at it. When he first arrived, him and his wife, me and my buddy was practicing on Saturday, and he asked, "Hey, could we fly in your circle?" Sure. And he started doing the pattern, and he did lazy 8s. And he didn't have them in any of the maneuvers in order. And he was doing them against the wind. Instead of downwind, he was upwind. So, and then on top of that, he was running like 4.6 lap times. And so me and my buddy, we kind of just helped him out and got him going and got him the right prop for his motor. Got him up to about 5.4 lap time. Got him to do his order right. And yeah, man, he kicked my butt. Yeah, next day, yeah, he won it. And but he's a really good guy. He's I'd say in his late 20s, and so yeah, so he'll be there again because when you win that trophy, you got to bring it back.
Yeah. I wonder how they ensure that happens. I guess.
It's when you look at this trophy, there's so many names on it. you know, most of the people that go there and fly, they're good people. They're
Yeah.
not just gonna just take it, you know.
We have a perpetual trophy called the Ringo Award in Huntersville, and we give it to the winner of Advanced every October. And we've had a couple of occasions over the past 35 years of that contest where we had a hard time getting the trophy back because some guy came and won it and lives 1,000 miles away and never intends on coming back again, and he's got the trophy. So, and we managed to figure it out one way or another, but that's always a risk with a perpetual.
You got to put your address and phone number and email and everything on the sign up sheet.
Yeah.
It, you know, but yeah, I'm hoping this year I'm gonna try really hard. I'd like to win it, so you know, it just make me going to the next level to intermediate. It just, you know, give me a bunch of confidence, you know.
Steve, have you ever flown any precision aerobatics? What's your control line endeavor?
I'm trying to learn.
Oh,
I've built a stunt trainer, but I haven't flown it yet.
Really?
Let me get it.
A phone. Okay.
now hopefully, you know, I'll have my 2 airplanes painted. One airplane's half painted, so I'm hoping to maybe in the next week or 2 finish it. So I can
Is that
start-
one of those RSTs from Eric Rule? Is that what that is?
What is it? What did you say?
Is that one of those RSTs? Is that what
No.
it's called? Rugged Stunt Trainer?
It's wings from Phil.
Phil Cartier.
Yeah, and I just on the fuselage, I just took several sets of plans.
I like that. Looks like a Pathfinder in front.
That's pretty sharp.
I don't know if
What talking about Pathfinders? They had some there.
that's a 40 FP. That's why I was asking about that. Running it on a wet 2-cycle.
Yeah,
That's probably where you want from it.
that looks like a very competent plane there. That should do the job. Got
The
that
wing's about
Pathfinder looking front end.
44 ounces, something like that. But I got 3 more sets of wings.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Now, does that wing go all the way through the fuselage, or is the
Yeah.
does it? Okay.
I put thin plywood on it,
Yeah.
you know, and then epoxied it in there.
That's pretty sharp. I like it.
And I put a carbon fiber push rod and stuff.
That's an excellent thing to do. That you don't have to worry about it flexing. Those are the best ways to. That's the best way to fly them. Yeah, that looks like a great trainer.
I'm anxious. I haven't flown it yet. I'm anxious to try it.
Yeah. Well, good. Good luck.
Yeah, from Friday, but actually getting to see another that was 4A's, and he's running a Super Tiger 35 in that thing. But that moves pretty well. Because he was saying it.
I've got no
D21.
experience with Super Tiger engines.
Yeah.
I've just got your old run-of-the-mill $30 eBay engines.
Yeah.
Actually, I call them eBay engines, but Ray Copeland, one of our club members, gave me a bucket full of engines when I first started flying, and then that's been my core group of engines ever since then. But those old FPs and I think there's an Enya and some other ones in there work great. Max S35, I got it on my shoestring. Just great engines. You can't kill them.
Here's my Super Tiger 15 for my Perky.
Ah, nice.
It's a rear exhaust. And I've got a, it's supposed to be a piped engine, but I've got the elbow I can run to direct the exhaust back.
Yeah.
I don't know if we can.
Yeah, I got it.
But the Perky's getting close. The Martin Sparky talked about
speed. That's a perk.
And it's got to be on suction.
Mm-hmm.
And I use that Dr. Paper silk span.
Oh, really? You know, I've been
Work pretty well.
It worked real well.
I've been to several doctors' offices, but the paper I'm sitting on those tables seems a lot heavier than what they're describing on Stunt Hanger. So
This
I don't
is
know.
like regular silk span.
Yeah.
I ordered 2 rolls of it from that. I don't remember. There was a link on Stunt Hanger.
Yeah.
And I mean, they're only $2 or $3 a roll.
I
I
ordered
might rip off a few feet of it next week when I go to the doctor.
I ordered a roll from him. I've got that same roll, bud.
Is it pretty light?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's man. I got silk span. Brodax silk span, a medium, and it's almost like equal.
Oh, wow.
It
So
works real good. I haven't used silk span in a long time, but it came out just right. I forgot to put my wingtip weight in.
The silk
So I
span.
put a little box on the bottom of the wing,
Yeah.
so I didn't have to tear it open. But
That's pretty sharp.
it's getting there.
yeah, it is.
Got the cowl, and I had to. I don't know if you can see the notch in the wing. I had to move the firewall back about 1/4 of an inch to make room for that rear intake on that engine.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
that came out okay. And I've got the fuel tank underneath the wing back here. I'm just hoping it'll suck enough to draw fuel.
Yeah.
You can't run pressure.
As long as you can keep that fuel line as short as possible, that's part of the trick.
Yeah, I've got it sticking through the firewall
Yeah.
right there. And once I mount the motor, I can cut it off and hook it up.
Right.
Yeah, I picked me up a couple shoestrings, two shoestring kits. Carl Goldberg.
Oh, really? Are they the actual old Goldberg kits?
Yep.
Not the Brodak reproduction.
Nope.
Yeah, that's what my shoestring is too. It's an old Goldberg. It is tough as nails. I learned to fly beginner on that plane. Went and took it to my first contest, flew beginner, and it's still hanging in the shop, pretty as ever. And seems like everything else I built has been busted and hanging in a grocery bag.
Talking about a grocery bag. I was talking to a fella not too long ago, and when he builds an airplane, before he puts a covering on, he stuffs a trash bag in his wing.
Oh, so he's got a bag if he crashes it.
Yeah.
That's freaking hilarious.
I don't want to go there. No.
Yeah, he puts it on the outboard wing.
I wish you had told me that a few weeks ago before I covered the wing on my Twister.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, he puts a trash bag in there. So that way he's prepared.
That adds to your tip weight too. So,
Yeah, he's got the bases all covered. He's prepared. He's got all of his equipment and everything just fancy and yep.
some people think all
Never
kinds of
know.
crazy stuff, and that would qualify as crazy stuff too.
That the Polk City event in Polk City, Iowa, there's trees all around you, and man, Saturday it was so turbulent.
That makes
time.
Yeah, it ain't stuff, doesn't it?
The wind would I was all screwed up on my directions there at the state park where the circles are, and wind would be blowing one direction, hit them trees, roll straight up,
Yep.
and roll right over like this, like turbulence, and the wind would be coming back at you when the wind was at your back.
It is hell
So you had
flat like that.
Yeah, you had wind at your back, you had wind at your face.
That's when you need a heavy, powerful plane.
Yeah, I was flying. I did an overhead 8, and the first one I did blew me out. So I recovered that to do the second one, and it blew me back the other way. It was it was unbelievable.
Let me tell you something you might not realize you're doing, because I had to learn it the hard way. Is when you're doing the overhead 8 with no perspective up there, yeah, I had trouble realizing I was not flying far enough back behind me, and I was actually doing them out in front of me, thinking I was going back. But when you go straight overhead and then turn too early, you've just put yourself in a broadside crosswind, and it'll blow that plane straight off its. It'll blow the air straight off the wings in that plane, and it'll come straight down. And if you can manage to let it take its inertia and get all the way around and back, its inertia will carry it through that kind of a twist and wind. But if you turn early, not realizing you're turning early like I was doing, and it's just like turning a sail straight into the wind sideways.
We had about 11 crashes.
Really,
Yeah.
that's a tough day.
One guy, man, he had a beautiful airplane and spent 2 years building it. And he was doing an outside and come down to go level. And when he pulled up, it didn't do nothing but just
Pancake.
right down, pancake right in the.
Yeah, it'll do that. The wind makes them accelerate like crazy going straight down like that.
Yeah, just like he was just pushed. Someone took a hand and just pushed the plane right down.
If ever you need to not worry about proper low pullouts, that's doing the down leg of those squares, and whether it's inside or outside, is a good time to do it.
He's an advanced flyer.
Yeah.
So he brought 2 airplanes with him. The other one that he built, I'm not kidding you, it looked like an ugly stick, a remote control ugly stick. It was beautiful. He had it yellow with the the cross, like on the stick.
Yeah.
The graphics, and it was set up. It was electric, and man, that plane just flew beautiful. But it looked just like the ugly stick, the big old round fat rudder, and man, it was gorgeous. I'm up there. A lot of good guys.
Yeah.
No stress. No, it really relaxing.
The greatest thing about this sport, there's no stress, and the most accomplished flyers help the least experienced flyers get going and get up to speed too. And it's not like other sports in so many ways in that way. It's all about helping each other and helping each other get better. And I think that's great.
Did you see that? Have you been on Stunt Hanger and went to open forum and see Rachel Sandberg? Shug Emery did a video of her.
No, but I haven't been on Stunt Hanger a lot lately.
He's 10 years old. Well, he posted it today.
Oh, okay. Well, no, I hadn't been on the forums much today.
Yep. She's 10 years old, and she's man, unbelievable.
That's incredible.
Yep.
Yeah, she's another natural. Samantha Hines is evidently a natural at it, because she's taken it, she's embraced it, and she's outflown her dad years ago by now, I think.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hopefully she doesn't lose interest.
Yep, that's right. But you ought to see that video. It's just the cutest thing you ever did see. She's just flying away. She's got a brand new Brodak Ringmaster, and it's pretty. Hey, I saw something that I've never seen before. Your push rod comes out of your wing, and you want to put the. I hear a noise.
I do too. What in the world is that? Has somebody got a radio on or a YouTube running in the background?
Nope.
Not that I know about.
I keep hearing something every time I talk, and like an echo, but it's not clear enough to discern the voice. But it goes away when I quit talking. Are y'all hearing that?
Yeah, a little bit.
Really, like some kind of chatter in my background? And I don't hear it in yours, except for just then when you asked what the hell was that.
Well,
I got all my tabs closed.
how about now when I talk?
No, I don't hear any of that kind of chatter.
I'll be darned.
I'm on close all of my tabs, and if y'all disappear, forgive me. I'll bring it right back.
Okay.
Okay, that one's closed, and this one's closed. And okay, if we're going to explode here, it's going to go right now. Am I still here?
Yeah,
Yep.
you're still here.
Okay, everything's closed now, and the
Yeah.
chatter's mostly gone.
Yeah.
I can still hear a little bit, but it's not bothering me. So, I don't know what that other noise was. More
Yeah,
tech,
I'm hearing it a little bit when you're talking, but not too bad.
but it's not as bad as it was, I don't think. I don't know. Maybe there's another microphone in this system that I don't even know about.
That could be.
No.
Anyway,
Now I
well,
forgot what I was talking about.
it's over for me until October, so I got all summer to get my pattern straightened out and move on into advanced. I'm not going to fly intermediate again.
What are you going to fly?
Advanced.
Advanced.
Going to advance.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm scoring for.
probably after that win of Triple Tree, yeah.
I'm scoring. Well, yeah, it's all about how good you feel like you are and personal decision. But my coach Wayne, my flying buddy and coach Wayne, suggests I'm been messing around in intermediate long enough, and I need some stiffer competition. And that's true. Everything I've ever done, I did better when I was against people, whether it's shooting pool or playing baseball or whatever. I always did better when I was up against better competition. And I've never been a really competitive guy, but it still works that way. And so I'll concentrate better knowing I'm up against tighter competition, I think. But I'm still improving in intermediate. And this spring, my scores are up into the mid 450s. And so, I think if I wasn't doing those horrible low or high inside pullouts, I could be making 460s, 470s. Because my takeoffs and landings, those are the easy points. If you want to increase your scores, those are the first ones you need to fix. And I'm getting over 30 on them every single time now. So
Which one?
I'm peppering 30s more and more into my scores. So
On what?
just about everything, but consistently on takeoffs and landings and inverted flight, those three always score over 30 to 35. And then some of my other stunts, like the outside square loops, and for instance, here and there an hourglass. And I think finally the clover is going to start getting me 30s. I've been making like 28s on that, and I think I'm finally just gonna not compact it so much. You got to make it so wide, it's hard to know when you've flown big enough. And,
Yeah.
but it's my pullouts are where my nemesis is.
Low.
My takeoffs and landings were where I was throwing points away, and I finally learned to do good jobs there. And I've gotten another 40 points on my total score by just cleaning them up. It's hard to take off and land and make a high score. And that's something that in intermediate and beginner you should concentrate hard, is rolling out, lifting off, not climbing till the full 5 feet until you've crossed the point where your pitman let go of the plane, and then flying another 2 level laps without wavering. For that, that's one combined score is takeoff and level flight.
Well, what I do is right where the judges are standing, that's where I put my airplane to take off. So when I know my back is to the judges, I'm already halfway around the circle. So I'm up in the air, going up real slow.
You're taking off on the wrong side of a crosswind like that, though. I take off with my back to the judges because that's the place where I'm going to do the stunts, and it's pushing out on the plane already. I might run it back around to the right enough to catch just a slight tailwind.
I take off with the judges. When I go my quarter, I'm on the ground for a quarter of the lap, and then I start to gain altitude. And by the time my back is to the judges, the wind is pushing my plane away from me as right when I get up to level flight. But I use the judges as my starting point, so I know when my back is to them, I should be right where I need to be at 4 feet.
Yeah.
And that's halfway around the circle, and that's the wind pushing my plane away from me.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what works for me.
What? Then I'm not going to argue with what works for you. Then, yeah, that's fine. I take off with a cross, but slightly tail wind and roll. But you don't want to roll any more than a quarter of a lap, or you lose pattern points.
Right.
Yeah. So it's 15.
Doesn't the rule book say that you got a quarter lap to roll? Right? You got a quarter lap to roll.
Say it again. I'm sorry. I over talked.
You got a quarter lap to roll. I thought the rule book said that.
15 feet to a quarter of a lap, but no more than a quarter. You don't have to go. You don't have to roll a quarter of a lap. As long as you roll at least 15 feet, then you can lift off anytime you want to.
Yeah. Well, I was doing pretty good on my takeoff and my landings. I almost scored a perfect. 39 is what I'm usually up to on my takeoff and my landing. I always.
Holy shit! Well, I'm not giving you any more advice on that because you're doing better than me.
That's the only two maneuvers I know that I can score high on is my takeoff and landing.
Well, that is an important part of your score, so you're doing good there.
Yep.
Clean up the stuff in the middle, and you'll be making the scores you want to get your name on that.
That's the stuff in the middle.
Yeah.
Hey, I just remembered what I was talking about. There's a new push rod hood that you can use when your push rod comes out of your wing.
Yeah.
You got this hood, this nice little hood. Hang on just a second. I got to go get it.
I was thinking about carving a fairing for mine. I've always just made them out of monocoat, but a nice carved fairing would look nice.
Yeah.
I've never done much carving.
Okay. I just thought this was really, really nifty. What is that?
Spoon.
Spoon.
That's a plastic spoon.
Yeah.
Right? Now watch. Well, these scissors doesn't give it justice. You just cut it off.
Yeah.
And cut your thing, and you just glue it right on there.
Is it?
See? It's
Yeah.
aerodynamic.
If it's deep enough.
Yeah, if it's deep enough for your.
It's all made from a plastic spoon.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If it's deep enough for your flap horn, that'd definitely work.
Yeah. Well, a couple Rachel Sandberg and her dad, Keith, had ringmasters, and that's what they put on as a push rod hood, and that really looked really good on there.
I'm gonna see if I can fashion something like that. That's a good idea. I think my twister needs, it's so steep coming out of the hole that wouldn't give it enough clearance, but I can maybe heat it and bend it a little bit more and get it to fit.
Yeah, it's yeah, they did real. He did real. Keith did a real good job putting it on there, but yeah, I'm gonna try it.
No use.
He was selling them. He was selling these spoons for $1. just for a joke.
Yeah.
A whole Ziploc baggie of these spoons. Yeah, it was funny. But it looked really good. I thought that was really interesting. Something new, something different, and something pretty some ingenuity right there.
I'm always on the lookout for junk I can pick up and make an airplane out of.
Yep.
Especially back when I was heavy into half A, you improvise a lot on those planes, and I was always picking stuff up. My wife's just shaking her head. What are you going to do with that? I'm going to make an airplane out of it, or a part of an airplane. All kind of junk.
Yeah, this Viper half A I'm building, it's got a build-up fuselage, but it's got the airfoil is diamond. It's a diamond airfoil.
That doesn't sound like too good of a grooving plane. If it's got a sharp lead edge, it might hunt on you.
Well, no, it's got it's the half A, so it's got a small round leading edge.
Yeah.
But instead of the airfoil being nice and round and curved, it's just a diamond pattern, stops right at the spar, and then it goes straight down to the trailing edge. And I've talked to a couple guys that had them,
I've seen that before.
They fly great, but brand new kit, $10. Couldn't pack it up. What are you eating? Whoppers?
Sugar baby. When I rattled the box, the camera came on me. So yeah, I got a box of sugar babies.
Boy,
I guess it's rude to be talking at the same time.
That's old candy right there.
Chewing and talking on line in public looks kind of cruddy, so I guess I'll put them down.
Well, Jamie, he just goes to the refrigerator, goes to the cupboard, and gets a bowl, and he
gets him a bowl of cereal.
He makes himself a bowl of cereal and comes on and eats.
Yeah, Sparky does too. I see we got 5 viewers. I bet you he's one of them.
I don't know, them boys, it's late for them and they got to get up early, and they're usually not ready to rock and roll and get on until like Friday night. Sometimes they hit me up wanting to do a hangout on Saturday night.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially Frank, he likes getting on Hangout, and stuff. And he works third shift.
Oh, jeez.
So it's kind of hard for him to get on during the week. But
Well, Charles Carter works at night, and that's part of why he can't get with us a lot of times.
Oh, the one from California?
Yeah. I like Charles. He's a pretty cool guy, but unfortunately our schedules don't coincide very well.
Yeah. I kind of wondered what was up with him. That's understandable if he's working third shift or whatever. That messes with everything.
I worked third shift for 9 months, and I just had to go later. I couldn't work it no more.
Yeah.
There's no way. My body will not allow it.
Yeah.
Nope. You're gonna keep me on third shift? I'm out of here. I've got too many different areas of classification that I can go into and find a job anywhere if I please.
Yeah.
Yep. more or less, I get a job, and if it's not on my terms, I'm gone. I sound kind of selfish and self-centered, don't I?
I wished I could be more that way. I've screwed myself my whole life, taking jobs.
I don't know. After I turned 50, I just, I told myself, I'm not doing this no more. I told myself I reached to 50. Now from 50 on, it's going to be on my turn.
Shoot, I'm pushing 60. I'll be 59 in September.
Wow.
No,
I'll be
61 when I turned 60 in March 2016. I decided, well, you only got one chance in your life to be a 60-year-old hippie. So I quit cutting my hair and hadn't cut it since my 60th birthday.
Yeah,
Now I'm 61. So
now all we need to do is get you in some bell bottoms and get you some tie-dye shirts, and you'll be right in there.
I just need to join a rock band.
Go join Willie.
It's amazing how many of us control liners actually are musicians.
Oh yeah, there's a lot. There's quite a few. Jeff Traxel is just amazing.
Yeah, Alan Brickhouse was a fantastic musician, and he was a band teacher, I think. At his funeral, it was 90%, 99% musicians, and control line was just a small part of his crowd. So a lot of people do a lot of things. I don't know where they get the energy to do so much.
Yeah, I know Bill Werwage, the very good musician, spent a lot of years professionally doing it.
That's the name.
Does it look like we got a red?
Where's Bill Werwage from?
Berea, Ohio.
Looks like I got a red stripe on my forehead, don't it?
Yeah, kind of.
Not red on my screen.
You know what that's from? I had my sunglasses on and my hat on.
Oh,
Oh,
you've got almost got reverse raccoon.
Yeah, I know. I got a red stripe and I got a red stripe right here. And you can see where my sunglasses been on.
you definitely got some sun.
I tell you. Yeah. And the thing of it is, I put sunblock on my face. I guess what happened was the sweat wore the sunblock off, and I didn't put any back on.
I've got to learn to do that. A lot of the times I've been having to go to the VA in Albuquerque on this eyelid. It's had squamous cell skin cancer on my eyelid 3 or 4 times. Not mostly, all my own fault. I worked for a cemetery for 10.5 years, mowing 8 hours a day, 3 days, at least 3 days of the week in the summer on a tractor with no hat and no sunblock. So
Let me tell you a story about cemetery mowing.
Yeah.
I had my buddy call me, and I keep track of I keep maintenance on all of his landscaping equipment.
yeah.
And he called me up and said, "Look," he goes, "I'm down 2 men, and I need some help on mowing some yards. Would you help me out for the day?" And I said, "Sure." So I went there, and you know what? The first thing we did was a cemetery. And after that day, I told him, I said, "Look, I will never mow for you ever again. Do you know what it's like mowing a cemetery?
Oh, it's got to be like mowing an obstacle course.
It is just."
If it's upright markers, the place I was flat markers, so pretty much I could just go like a farm. But geez, 8 hours a day.
This cemetery had headstones that were 6-7 feet up, and and big old headstones and old cemetery. And I tell you, I got stuck with the weed eater.
Oh, geez. Yeah, I know
Yeah.
that. A lot.
He sat on a rider.
Oh, yeah.
And, I was like, I'll never mow for you.
Oh, God.
Yeah, that cemetery, man. I take my hat off to you, Michael, because I can't do it.
Yeah.
That's a lot of work mowing a cemetery.
Yep.
And the thing of it is, I'm kind of, I look at when I look at them headstones, I look at people, and so I just can't just flop grass all over and make it messy.
That's not something you want to do a sloppy job of.
Yeah.
Right. So I take my time and I treat every headstone like it was, I was taking care of a person. So
Yeah.
It took me a long time. My buddy said, "Oh my God," he goes, "You took forever." Hey, you wanted me to help you. This is how I helped. But I told him, I said, "I'll never mow for you again." And I never did. I still work on his stuff. I got him bringing one in 2 days from now.
Yeah.
No hydraulics on the right side.
Oh, fun.
Oh yeah. But yep. So be careful when one of your friends asks you, "Hey, can you help me mow?" Better get the particulars first.
Yeah.
But anyway, enough on that. Ugh.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a depressing subject. By the
Yeah.
time I was done at that job after 10.5 years.
Yeah, after I got done with that, I felt like I was going to go 6 feet under.
Yeah. It's a depressing job.
Yeah, yeah. And that was pretty cool too. There was a guy that took and was washing headstones off of veterans, cleaning their headstones
That's pretty
with black and nasty. And boy, he cleaned them things up to where them headstones look brand new. Did it for nothing. Just did it on his own.
That's way cool.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, he put him on national TV.
Granite should clean up really nice too. I mean, geez, it lasts millions of years. So, yeah. I wonder what he cleaned them with. Some kind of acid, maybe, like concrete cleaner, or
I don't know what.
The older ones were marble, I thought.
Oh, yeah. No, what you're right. I didn't think of that. I was thinking granite, but yeah, marble. Some of the granite ones have a polish to it. I have no idea how they polish that granite and make it glass smooth like that.
Oh, they use a 7.5-inch grinder, side grinder, with a polish pad on it, and it's like a rubbing compound that cuts it, and they do it wet.
Yeah.
That's how they do that. I've seen it done.
I guess it takes a lot of elbow grease too, but
no, not really.
Derek Barry works for a custom granite company, and they cut custom granite for countertops and all sorts of other things.
Yep. Yeah, I just saw he posted on Facebook.
I saw that too.
He was done,
and I talked to him about it. I told him when I saw him the other day that I had seen his ad, and we got talking about it. I said, "Yeah, that looks like a young man's job," and he said, "It is definitely a young man's job." But
granite will definitely do a number on an older person.
Yeah.
I moved a lot of granite in 10.5 years.
Yeah, I've helped laid some countertops. They're heavy.
Oh yeah.
You got to be careful. You got to know how to work with it. Oh, I've got this house that we're living in. It needs to be completely remodeled on the inside. Background right here, the old paneling.
I see that, yeah.
But
the room I'm in is actually paneling like that, but we painted it a super light blue when we moved in. It doesn't look blue anymore, but but
I've actually been in houses and taken and mudded them, mudded the paneling.
oh, really?
Mm-hmm. Yep, it's a job. It's a big job, but when
Yeah,
you get done, it just
the
looks
mud
like
sticks.
drywall. Perfect.
The mud sticks for a long term without cracking and falling off.
Nope. Nope. I don't know. I haven't had any callbacks.
Yeah, that's good.
That's
Yep.
well, that's
I use
always good.
Durabond for the lines in the panel, the dadoed lines, and then come back and skim coat the whole wall with mud. Probably end up 2 or 3 times of doing that.
Hmm.
It turns out pretty decent. But yeah, I don't do too many of them jobs anymore. I don't
Steve,
like.
is that a kite hanging on the wall behind you back there?
What?
Is that a kite hanging on the wall behind you?
Oh yeah, that's for my granddaughter.
Oh, really? I'm surprised at how many, well, I'm not surprised, but a lot of control liners do kites, like the dual line kites. And that's some pretty cool hobby too.
Yeah, I like the kite that's a bicycle and the legs move up and down.
Hmm.
Have you seen that?
Yeah. My buddy Wayne makes something called buka kites. They're buka combat or fighter kites. And he can fly one of those flights and do the AMA pattern with a buka kite. And they're small. They're only about 24 inches square. And it's a 2-line. Is it a 2-line or a 1-line? I can't even remember now.
It's a 2-line.
But is it 2 lines?
Yeah, I've seen it. I've seen the videos of them. They're pretty cool.
He tried to teach me how to do it one day, and I could do a little bit, but I couldn't keep it up in the air.
I've seen one guy have 2 kites up in the air, 2-line, and doing synchronizing.
You know, the Wright brothers did a lot of their preliminary aerodynamics experimentation with kites out at Wrightsville Beach, because they were or where Kitty Hawk, wherever they were, Kill Devil Hills, but because they were using twisted wing guidance for the aileron effect, and by the time they got ready for the first flights of that plane, they were pretty well prepared and trained, knowing how it was going to react when they twisted those wings, just by experimenting with the kites all that time.
That's kind of cool.
I'd love to go up there and see their museum, but I've never had a chance to. I had a buddy come from Missouri to visit and go to the Huntersville contest, and then after the contest, he took his camper and headed on up to Kill Devil Hills, North Carolina, where the Wright Brothers Museum and memorials are, and I think he enjoyed that. I'd like to go, never have been.
That would be kind of cool.
I got some friends that went up there and brought me home a little plastic toy glider that they bought in the gift shop, and it's all just stick together. Probably I don't know, 6 or 8 inch wingspan, and I didn't think much of it, but I had it out in the backyard, so I just hauled off and gave it a flip. Damn thing flew all the way across the yard and glided into a landing. And I couldn't believe they went to that much trouble to actually balance that little toy soft rubber, or not rubber, but soft plastic plane, and get it to fly that well. But it's pretty cool. But to sit there and look at it, for all the world, you want to fly it backwards, because it looks like it's supposed to go the other way, because the big rudder control surfaces are in front of the pilot rather than behind the pilot, which we're you know, so used to nowadays.
Yeah, it was a canard, wasn't it? The right flyer. Had the
As a canard, can a canard be vertical?
Yeah. Yeah.
I hear somebody getting notifications. I don't think it's me though.
Some
Not
of them
me.
are mine. I get a lot of them.
I'm gonna go to the refrigerator for a moment. I'll be right back.
What, you're gonna get yourself a bowl of cereal?
No, I already had supper. I'm just gonna get me a shot of Coke and something to munch on off.
We went out. We went out tonight and had Mexican.
Oh yeah, I love Mexican food. I could eat it every day. I'll be right back. Y'all behave now. Sparky's not here to keep you straight while I'm not looking at you.
Oh, good. We're gonna do all kinds of things.
I sure wish Minnesota Mike could have gotten on. I'd love to get this thing sold. Because I'm sure not going to fly it.
Why not?
Because I get dizzy in a heartbeat.
Oh, well, you just got to practice. You know, a good way of practice.
I have no interest in flying control line speed, even vintage.
You know what a good way of practice is? Take a baseball bat and then you set the end of it on the ground, and the end which you put your hand on, that's where you put your forehead on, and then you run around in a circle.
No,
Okay?
I don't think so. That wouldn't work for me.
And then all of a sudden you let go of the baseball bat and you try to walk straight.
Exactly. That's why I have no interest whatsoever in flying that. My dad flew it once, I think.
Oh man, I don't fly speed, but I tell you something, if I had that airplane, I'd have to start it up and fly it.
Yeah.
I don't care. I would have to start it up and fly it. Yeah, look at that baby.
First time I flew this one, I had it on about 28-foot lines.
Holy crap.
I fell down.
That's awful short.
It's fast too. It's a golden V.
I would have used 35 footers.
I made some out of a
Yeah.
Spectre line.
Yeah.
It's a lot better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah.
an auto or something? Is that a big auto or something?
Big auto.
I thought so. Don't see those all that often.
I had one of these when I was in high school, and I loved it, so I built another one.
Cool.
That flies real good.
Yeah,
I've got an old B speed.
You're going to have to post some videos when you fly, Steve.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they were trying to talk me into I don't have any place to fly this thing, I'm sure.
Did I miss a big auto?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, look at
That's
that.
a speed.
Here's my B speed.
A B speed. Okay.
That
It's
is
a Super Tiger 29.
Oh, okay. So this is not an A. This is a B.
This is a B.
Dueling 29.
This one's gone over 150 before.
Like
Cool.
I don't think I could do it right now.
wow.
It's monoline.
I have
Wow.
no interest in doing this. I'm sure this goes over 100. If
Yeah,
it's
you fly that with that slider stick in your hand and move the rod back and forth with the worm gear to make it go up and down.
Yep, that is, yeah, this is two mine.
Hang on, I gotta click on you to see that. Let's see. Oh, that's it. Yeah, that's it.
Button for it. The button's kind of decomposed over time.
Yeah. Now, I'm guessing that as long as that thing is, that means that it's not very sensitive about how it affects the plane's attitude. So, I mean, does it take a big movement with your hand for a little movement at the plane?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's real easy to get behind it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet.
Plan ahead. It'd be high on one side and low on the other.
Now, does everybody use that, or some people prefer two lines, or I guess a single monoline is a lot less drag. Is that the main reason?
And once you get the hang of it, it's okay.
Yeah.
This is an old 2-line, but you can see from it doesn't have much control movement. It don't need much control.
No, it doesn't need much, and it's just got the rudder or the elevator on one side.
Yep. Yep. Same here.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, what? Tell me, why is that? That seems like it would make the plane roll.
It might a little bit, but it's not an issue.
Is it
'Cause
always
it's got plenty of line tension.
Is it always on the inboard side?
I don't know.
Play on the outboard side on this one.
Is it?
I've seen them both ways.
Yeah.
My little piece broke off. I got to make a new one.
I've always wondered about that. So I guess you're right, though. The line tension is so tight on those that any roll is not a problem.
Yeah. For it to even get airborne, it has to build up a lot of speed.
Yeah, it's got to lift the dolly off the ground.
That was his homemade dolly with the Traxler balloon tires that are rotted and flat. I definitely have no place to try to fly that. I do have a question for you, Steve. What kind of a tank do you run in that B-Speed?
I made it, but it's a pressure tank.
Yeah. Huh.
Your crankcase pressure? Yeah, I see.
Yeah.
Now,
Cool.
question: do some people put a check valve in that line on the way to the tank?
I don't think so.
Okay, that would overcompress after a while, I think.
Yeah.
But I don't know why I've been asked if they were supposed to, but I never knew the answer, and I thought I'd seen some people do that.
They might. I don't know.
Yeah.
This one's 35 years old or 40 years old.
The Hellraiser was 50s.
Crankcase pressure builds higher than exhaust pressure, doesn't it?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, lots and lots higher, I think. Way higher.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty neat.
Yeah, this dolly clamps over the top of the wing,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and it's got the little trigger, so when you lift off far enough off the ground, then it releases it.
Yeah.
Some of them just have posts and it just rises up out of there, but
Off of it. Yeah.
this one
Looks
clamps
like
it down.
looks like a million adjustments you'd have to make to get that thing to roll straight.
Yeah, I want it to roll straight and not roll into toward you.
Yeah. And this is the old style. I think my dad made this one out of coat hangers.
Well, that's piano wire.
Or yeah. You notice how long it's been since those have been used. Those are the old Traxler balloons.
Oh, yeah.
I think he flew it once and he got dizzy, and I don't know that I want to try flying it. I'd have to figure out the system for
I
it.
think you ought to try it.
I think so, too.
That's all right.
I
If
don't
I
know.
had something like that,
Only
I'd have to
thing
try it.
I know this much. It's 2-line, and I don't think I'd use anything bigger than a hot rock on it to not over control it.
Okay, y'all tell me this.
Three.
Where did the dizzy bat race conversation come in while I was going to the refrigerator? That's what we call that, and they used to do it at the baseball park between innings and put your head on the bat and spin around.
Yep.
We called it the dizzy bat race. Now,
Yep.
brought that up in the conversation while I was away.
Yep. We would have to do that going around in circles, and all of a sudden, as soon as you're done doing that, you take off running.
Yeah, try to.
Yeah, try to.
There's the operative word.
You kind of go in an arc and then fall.
Yeah, I know. I had season tickets for years, and I've seen a million of them done. So I never wanted to do it myself. I hate being dizzy. So
I don't do dizzy.
no.
Yeah, my age anymore, you know, you go dizzy and you fall, you can hurt yourself.
Yeah,
No shit.
you're younger than I am, aren't you? I know Rusty's slightly older, but you're younger than I am.
I'm 62. How old are you, Tom?
52.
Okay.
I'm
I'll be 53 in October.
59.
How about you, Steve? How old are you?
64.
Oh, okay. So you win.
Yeah.
You age for beauty, and I sure as heck ain't no beauty.
Yeah.
It's been kind of
Boy, I
fun.
tell you what, this past Saturday we was flying. Boy, it got hot. 4 degrees.
Oh, wow.
Boy, it was hot on Saturday. And there was, you know,
When we,
there
when we
was
flew
79.
Great,
There were 79-year-old guys out there flying in that heat.
you know what a good thing to do is to take a bottle of that green spearmint alcohol that you can get from the drug shelf at the grocery store, and carry that with you to the field, and pour a few glugs in the bottom of a leftover ice in the cooler and water, and soak a rag in that. Wring that out over the back of your neck and head, and it'll knock the core temperature of your body down in a second. It'll make you scream out loud, but you'll be so glad you did it. It'll knock the stupid right out of you, because when I get hot, I get stupid. I don't even know which way to walk sometimes, when I'm out there at the field, and that's the cure, is just take some of that wintergreen alcohol and pour it in the bottom of your cooler ice, soak a rag with it, just wring it out over your head, and then throw that rag around your neck. When the alcohol evaporates, it chills you so much, and it'll ward off heat stroke if you do that too.
Yeah.
What is it?
It's wintergreen mint
Isopropyl.
alcohol, rubbing alcohol.
Yeah, isopropyl.
Yeah, it's isopropyl, just like regular bathroom countertop alcohol, only it's on the same shelf at the store, but it's green. And it feels great when you do it. I mean, it's like diving into a cold swimming pool, but when it's 105, 110 degrees, and you're just all of a sudden feeling like you're getting stupid, then time to squeeze some of that around you. Just wring it out over your head, soak yourself. And when that alcohol evaporates, it has such a cooling effect that it will really chill you down. And your head and neck are the biggest heat sinks on your body, so you can soak the heat out of them with that alcohol so fast that it'll
I
really.
never heard of mint green alcohol.
Wintergreen. Well, next time you're at the drugstore or the grocery store, look on the shelf next to the regular old 70% isopropyl and see if you don't see any bottles of it that are green.
Huh.
With a green liquid inside of them. And it's just the same stuff. It's just got wintergreen mint in it. And it might have a little salicylic acid or something, but it's mostly just a mint. And it makes it a whole lot more pleasant than alcohol fumes. So
I'll look for that. That's a good idea.
it's well worth doing. Yeah.
Well, another thing is when I'm out there flying and these older fellows, that could help them.
If you had to run up and help somebody that looked like they were in trouble, and you gave them that treatment, then I think that would be a real good thing to do.
Yeah, no doubt.
and do it before you're getting in trouble as far as for yourself. You know, just this is a good way to stop and cool off a little bit, and especially if you haven't got a lot of a good shady place to go.
It's just
But,
like control line. Yeah, I mean, you know, it's kind of a healthy thing because you do a lot of walking.
Yeah, at least 2 or 3 miles. I don't know.
There's a lot of exercise in control line.
Yeah, that's what's keeping me alive. That's what's keeping the arthritis from overtaking me. I mean, you know, without control line, I don't believe I'd still be here. This is the luckiest thing that's ever happened to me in my adult life, other than, you know, the younger adult years, getting married and having a family. But now that I'm retired, and this is giving me good exercise. And I mean, this old body's been through hell, and it's amazing. Nobody ever thought I'd still be here, but hell, here I am. You know, in dialysis for 31 years and still kicking.
You're like you're like a little train engine. I think I can. I think I can. You just keep going and going and
I
going.
remember that was one of my favorite stories when I was a kid.
Yeah.
This
Speaking of that thing that you still are doing, my niece no longer has to do that. She got her kidney.
Good. No more dialysis, huh?
No more dialysis after another 17 or 18
Right.
years.
Dialysis is
Age
tough on your
31.
body. Dialysis is tough on your body, but I'm lucky in that I don't have diabetes, which so many dialysis patients do. So that's one thing that I don't also have to manage. But you just got to learn a lot and take control of everything, and not just bow down to what they do at the clinic. If they got policies that don't quite work with you, you know, you got to kind of put your foot down about things sometimes. But, you know, I had a lot of practice. So.
Yeah, my niece had to put her foot down a number of times with these
Yeah.
dialysis places.
And how old is she?
She's 31. She's fought kidney disease her entire life. She was born with a herniated bladder, so she gets to live life finally.
Yeah, that was just a case of strep throat or something for me. But it took 10 years, and I knew they were failing, so I was prepared. When it finally came at age 29, I believe I started in 1986. That would have been age 30, I guess. And so, yeah. No, 1980. Yeah, that's right, 1986. Yeah.
Yep. It was a miracle she survived as long as she has. And now that she has a kidney that's working.
That's wonderful. And they're a lot better at keeping those things alive than they were back when I had mine. My transplant didn't work at all. It was just it screwed me up.
Her first transplant was from her dad, my brother. It wasn't that her body rejected that, but at the time when we found out after the fact that Children's Hospital in Denver was a teaching hospital, and they were not quick enough responding to urinary tract infections, and that's what killed the kidney.
Yeah, that's too bad. Oh well. Anyway, okay, that's our old man's discussion interlude for tonight. Let's get back on to fun stuff.
Fun stuff, not that stuff.
I try not to lead with that kind of thing. Some people do. You say, "How you doing?" and they tell you about the barium enema they had this morning, you know. But you know, I don't. I just try to live, and hell, by all the moaning and whining I hear from healthy people, most of the time I think I feel about as good as they do. So, you know, I'll take that.
So what flying you're going to in October?
That'll be the Carolina Criterium, which is the other Huntersville. That's the big one at Huntersville, and then kind of the season closer. Really not, because we got the KOI coming up. But yeah, for my club, that's the May contest is a smaller one. That was the Carolina Classic at the 1st of May, and then in October it's the Carolina Criterium, which turns out to be a pretty big contest every year. Probably the biggest one on the East
So
Coast.
what are you going to do between now and October?
Practice and learn to not bobble my dadgum bottoms, my inside bottoms, my outside bottoms.
Like you come out like this and go whoop, like that.
And pull out high. I always pull out of my insides high, and I think I was talking to Charles about it. I think I've got an adjustable handle where the lines are adjustable, you know, in height away from the center of your hand. I think I'm on. This is my upline. Boom. Not everybody else, but I'm gonna move it down farther, because when I fly outside loops, I use my wrist and my elbow, and it's like time slows down. I can put the plane anywhere I want it, but when I fly, that was for outside, but when I fly inside, I don't have the same arm movement. I just try to do it with my wrist, and I can't get enough. So what I end up doing is doing this as it goes through the loop, and then snap back up to the next one, come around, and that introduces error when I do that reset right there. And I try doing it without rolling my hand over, but I come inches from the ground and have to do a panic yank out. And so there's some things I'm going to try, but this summer I have got to get over that is my nemesis.
A panic yank out, huh?
That's what's killing my scores.
Yeah.
And like I said, for outsides, even on the square eights and the square loops, and I do them perfectly. But with insides, they just kill me getting the right height off the ground. 5 feet, and 5 feet seems a lot lower when you're doing it than it does when you're watching somebody else do it.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I think if I can get those things straightened out, I'll actually belong in intermediate. I mean, not intermediate, belong in advanced.
What'd you score? What's your scores usually average?
This year I've gotten higher than ever. On average, I'm close to 450.
450?
Yeah.
Hey, Shug Emery won third in
that's with no beauty points.
in advance.
Appearance judging over here.
Shug Emery, he's getting good.
Yeah, you know, my first intermediate contest, I flew against Shug at Huntersville, and he pasted me, of course.
He's in advance now.
Natural, and he never flew beginner in a contest. His buddies up in Minnesota, the Piston Poppers, they encouraged him to go ahead and fly intermediate first, and he was a little dubious about it, but he did it, and he put me in my place. I tell you what, I think he scored I'd have to look back, but he probably scored in the 450s or 4.
He brought some. There were quite a few piston poppers that come down to this event. They got a new guy. His name is Tom, but I can't remember his last name. And he got first place in intermediate. And he's a piston popper.
Is he? They got some good guys in that club. They seem like they got good support. They really helped Shug with giving him some good equipment and helping him learn how to fly. So they've got some people that know what they're doing up there.
Yeah, Shug, he flew the Strega in advance and got third.
I wonder if Minnesota Mike is a piston popper.
Don't know.
I think, by the way, Mike signed out a little while ago. I went over to YouTube and looked, and he was saying bye. So he's gone for tonight.
Who?
Minnesota Mike. I kept going over to, and he was answering me over there with when I would go over there and check on the YouTube crowd. I hadn't been back over there lately, though. Let me pop over there in a minute and see what I see.
Yeah. I'll see what he's doing.
I'm having trouble to get my links thing to pop up. There it is. Link. Copy. And then I got to open a new session of Chrome and paste and go. This is when I get that echo back too when I go over and open this site. I'm still hearing a little chatter after I talk, but when I open this, it gets worse, even though I'm not playing the stream over there. Let's see who's in here. All right, YouTube guys. This hadn't popped up yet. Come on, dudes, pop up.
Yep. I don't know if he's still on or not.
Oh, yes, it gets worse, even though I'm not playing the stream over there. Let's see who's in here. All right, YouTube guys.
I did record some video of some stuff up there,
Yeah.
but I gotta edit. Though before I post it.
Y'all were hearing my echo. Sorry about that. I had the stream running. Somebody named the Hoplite is on. Hey, Hoplite, what's going on, man? See if he answers me. It doesn't say what times they came on, so I don't know if he posted that a half hour ago or not.
Yeah.
I'm gonna type to him. Hey.
Yeah, it's weird that we can't see the people chat. I don't know why. I got group chat open here on our Hangout, but there's no one on it.
Oh, I got somebody. Don't you see somebody named Hoplite on there that says, how's this going?
What?
Don't you see some, are you on the YouTube page right now?
Yeah.
Do you see somebody named the Hoplite that said, how's it going?
No, I just have Minnesota Mike, Stunt Hanger, and Minnesota Mike again. That's it. That's all I have on the YouTube. Are you posting something now?
Yeah, I'm writing to Hoplite. I said, hey, Hoplite, what's up? We can't communicate with the tube viewers in the chat room, and I'm about to click it in now. There it is. Oh, he
Now
says,
I see it.
okay, now I'm getting a whole bunch of them. That's all I had. Now I'm getting a bunch from Tom, Minnesota. Okay, man, that was a long time ago when Hoplite posted that. So
Yeah, he asked about something like, what is this stream all about?
yeah, that didn't show up until after I'd posted. For some reason, it didn't fully load. Now I see a bunch more. Yeah, I see Minnesota Mike saying he'll be back on Wednesday.
Oh, okay.
Chris Lee.
Chris
Okay,
Liggy.
Chris Liggy's on. He says he can see us. I'm gonna type, hey, Chris.
Yeah, there was also a guy from Brazil that said hi.
From Brazil. Oh, wow.
Louis.
Yep.
Got a guy from Colombia Friday.
Oh, yeah, he said hi, Thomas. He must have been talking to you, Crazy.
Yeah, because I said hi to him. Yeah, all of that I don't see any of that on mine right now because I closed it out after I got on and now I reopened it.
Yeah, I closed mine a while ago and it's taken a while to reload for some reason. It says I'm looking at 25 out of 200. Jesus. Okay.
There are really 200 people.
I don't know. I don't care. Let's see.
I don't see that happen.
It says 6 are watching. So I just hate that these guys are isolated from us.
Yeah, I don't care for that either.
Okay. I'm going to close the page again to stop that chattering there. It did get a little bit better. Maybe. Okay. I'm off YouTube.
I just let it run. I just mute it.
Well, I do too, but it ain't working. Even this not streaming either on my end. But
yeah, it's like
that's just in the system.
It's just like it lags.
Yeah, I just saw.
It lags way behind. Okay, now Chris put a chat in and said maybe on Wednesday.
Yeah. He didn't just put that in. He put that in about an hour ago.
Yeah, I'm
See,
way
that
behind you.
happened to me too. I was sudden people were popping up over every few minutes, but ones I recognized from having seen earlier tonight. So it's just screwed up. And that's not us. That's YouTube and Google not working quite right. So they're still working the bugs out of this thing. We could be doing this on Skype and not having all these technical difficulties, but I don't know, maybe Sparky thought more people had Google, so maybe it would be easier.
Well, it's just like YouTube and Google work hand in hand.
Yeah, well, they are the same entity now.
Yeah. YouTube owns, or Google owns YouTube.
Hey, ever since I got this new laptop for Christmas, man, it's great. I love it.
Yeah, I wish I could get around to fixing my tablet. The glass is all shattered on it, and I bought a new glass with, I should have bought a whole different top section for it, and it's easy to replace, but I gotta try to get a heat gun and get all that old glass. It's about 1 trillion shards. I don't know if I'm going to be able to manage that without tearing up the LCDs. Well, the LCDs are in the new glass, but the digitizer or whatever, I don't know. I don't really know how it works.
Sounds like you're in the store to buy a new one.
Well, I need to spend 60 or 80 bucks and just get the whole new top section already assembled. And then it's a matter of minutes snapping it together with the bottom half. And it'll be back to life. I've watched 20 people do it on YouTube, but when I bought mine, it was really too good to be true deal. When I got it, it didn't have the whole top section. It just had the glass with the LCDs in it. Looks like it's fragile as can be. So it's all in a styrofoam box. It's back in the shop. And after I busted the twister, I got preoccupied with that, and as little stamina as I've got, I can only spend so much time in the shop. I felt pressed on getting the twister fixed, so it never, the tablet, it's an LG tablet, and it never got fixed, so it's still.
Man, there was some talking about twisters. There was 2 twister planes that was there this past weekend, and they're good flying planes.
Mine's a really good flying plane. It's that, if you've seen a picture of it, it's that Walter Umland style with the fat nose. It's got almost a 2-inch wide nose, all the way back to the top of the high point, behind the high point of the wing. It looks like a full fuselage plane at first glance. So it's stiff as can be and tough as nails. And the only thing I broke was the wing when I crashed it, but that was that day the handle came out of my hand.
Ooh.
And that's never a
good thing he was wearing your thong.
Yeah, and I was experimenting with trimming that day, so I had it tail heavy, and so it was hanging on the end of that thong, flying outside loops the size of a beach ball, just over and up. It wasn't growing or anything, but I reached out and grabbed the handle, put it back in my hand, upside down. And so all of a sudden, I was pulling the wrong way, and the plane was going the wrong way, and I just lost my shit. Didn't compensate fast enough and plowed that sucker straight into the ground.
Wow.
But I was disappointed. I thought I was a better pilot than that. I ought to be able to compensate for a backwards handle and at least fly flat. Hell, I can fly inverted. It would have been the same motions, but my brain did not adapt fast enough that day, and I busted the wing up.
Your brain wasn't working that way.
Not very well. It was confusing as shit. I'll tell you what, to have a plane hauling ass through the air and you got your controls backwards.
Yeah, that's never easy to get. Correct.
Did you guys just freeze up?
No,
No.
No,
going black at points. I don't know why.
I have had that happen. Michael keeps going black on me. Talk for a minute, Michael. Say a long sentence.
That's a dueling 29.
Yeah, you're black.
Why am I black?
Because your computer's fucked up.
No. It's real dark behind me. I know that.
No, it ain't that black. I mean, it's blacker than that. I mean, it's like no signal.
Oh, jeez.
Hmm.
I wonder what happened.
You know,
I'm going to kick out and come back
I
in.
don't know.
yeah.
Here lately, there's always something going on with Hangouts.
We didn't used to have that when I first started watching these before I was moderating them. But like Sparky said, he thinks it's just them working on the system while we're using it. I don't know. But these crazy things have been popping up lately, or maybe more and more people are starting to use Google Hangouts and it's overloading their servers. I don't know. But Friday night, whenever somebody would log in, we'd all get kicked off and have to re-enter. So, and that certainly wasn't on our end.
Huh.
There's Thomas. Okay. We got Thomas and Steve, and we're waiting on Mike. Okay, here's comes Mike. Okay.
Better?
That looks better.
Huh, I wonder why it kicked out.
Yeah,
We've been
now-
having internet issues here for the last.
Your computer probably just had a memory overflow or something. Video
It's a
overflow.
dueling.
Memory overflow.
That is a very famous speed engine. With its
Dueling.
own porting. Yep. The way the bypass works on this, it doesn't have in the crankcase regular bypass except this, and it's got three ports in the bottom of the piston that feed this hemispherical. So it's makes a lot of power for those days.
So the fuel goes up through the bottom of the piston, through ports.
You can skirt up this port, yeah. I'm having a heck of a time. I'm looking at this, and the fuel goes into the Venturi here. I'm having a heck of a time seeing if it's got a pressure fitting on the crankcase or not under there. And how would you get a hose on it? But I'm sure it is. I'm sure it was never meant to run.
Yeah, you can put one in it. It doesn't have to be in the back plate either. I think you could probably put it right in the crank journal, in the control rod journal. As long as you don't run it through, it just has to be flush on the inside. That's how some people do Cox Reed valve engines.
Huh.
They put it right in the slot that accommodates the big end of the con rod spinning around, and just make it so it's flush with the inside so it doesn't contact the con rod.
Yep. Yeah, I can't tell what's under there, but it looks like I'd have to use a tank about like yours, Steve, with this.
Should be plenty of room back there.
Yeah, it's got lots of room back there.
How much does them pans usually run?
That I don't know.
I don't know. It was 35 years or so ago I bought that.
I sold a pan at a swap meet for $25.
That's probably pretty good.
Are they magnesium? Is that what most of them make from?
100 feet or something.
I think this one's a magnesium.
Something like that.
I think it's harder on these.
Yeah.
This never has been drilled.
Oh, it's a nice pan.
Oh, it hasn't been. Hold that up again, Steve. Oh, it hasn't even been drilled yet. That's like new.
Yeah, I never built the airplane. I was going to build a 21 Sport Speed or something 20 years ago, and I never did build it.
Cool.
That's a DARP pan. I don't know if you can see the.
Well, that's a nice little thing.
Yeah.
It's got a big foot on it
Kinda
or whatever for the skid.
Yeah.
Black tint to it.
Yeah, it's probably just kind of corroded.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd have to put that on my buffer wheel and buff that out till like chrome.
Yeah,
look at that.
there we go. Half A speed.
Yeah.
TD09.
Is that a
Is that an
TD09 on it?
049.
Oh,
Oh,
40. Oh, that's a little.
We trimmed down the fins on the glow plug.
You know, the heads for Norvell 049061 fit those really well. You gotta might have put
that one.
you might want to put some more shims under it to decompress it a little bit. Or Merlin makes one too, and Bernie sells them at coxinternational.ca. But they're good. You just got to start with 5 shims and work down 5 head gaskets, and because it'll be way over compressed if you don't. But also, what I like about those is the little pocket spring-loaded glow igniters clip right onto those plugs.
Oh, yeah.
It's a drop-in plug with a head clamp rather than built-in filament.
This one was for an
Razor.
A speed.
Oh, okay. I've also got a baby Hellraiser. It's kind of in pieces. Hellraiser.
Y'all caught me again with my that Sugar Babies box makes the camera light up.
Yeah.
The camera likes your sugar babies.
I might have to switch to Mike and Ike because I got a box of them too.
I was doing some messing with this. I don't know how long this is sat, but that is a new in the box jewel case TD with everything in it, because I can
All right.
bottom and it's got its wrench and everything else in there.
Beautiful. I'd love to have a couple of new TDs.
Heck, this thing's even got a filter screen
now,
in
aren't
it.
they?
What'd you say, Mike?
Are TDs kind of hard to come by now?
No, not on eBay.
No, I see them out all the time.
They're not cheap though.
No. That's what shocked me is the prices on some of these Cox engines. And at the same time, you go through and look at what should be high-priced spark ignition engines going low. That's weird.
I think less people want spark ignition engines though.
Yeah. I have thought about doing a big OTS ship with the engine that was in that Firebird of my dad's. So I've got a sitting downstairs in beautiful shape, an OK Super 60. Put it in the
Yeah, does.
Hey, Michael, have you done any flying this year?
No, I don't have a club, and I haven't had a chance to build much this year. Even I'm just finances have sucked.
Why don't you get you a styrofoam wing and a 1/2-inch pine stick? Glue that wing to that stick and put a motor on it and go out there and fly the thing.
Yeah, I've got that.
That's what it usually
almost
is, basically.
done. I've got to sheet the wing, put the wing in the fuselage, and do that. One will be flyable. That's going to be the first one I do because it's a lot like your Twister.
Yeah.
You got
A 1/2-inch
Do you have a stooge, Michael?
Slide with a tank slot in it for the tank, so it should be a whole lot stabler fuel-wise than most profiles that way.
Do you have
Actually, the tank looks recessed because it goes into that thick tripler, but it's sitting up against the main central side of the fuselage, so it's not really any more recessed than just a plain old bare-sided profile. It just looks like it.
Yeah.
But still,
the article on that Excalibur that he talked about with it, and I tend to agree, is the fact he didn't even use, Mathis didn't even use ply doublers when he built that first Excalibur. He just used the 2 pieces of 1/2 inch, and it's sure a drastically stronger joint at the wing root, because you've got that much more surface area to go on that wing.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to start building all of my profiles like that. And I'm also, I'll tell you what, is I'm going to start putting universal motor mounts in them. I'm sick of having to plug holes and rebore if you want to change an engine size.
Yeah.
Because that's terrible for the beam mounts.
Yeah. What are you talking? Doing a universal like an RC mount or something?
No, I'm talking about taking a, I'm not sure. Let me look at my list. A piece of aluminum bar.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah. Hold that up again.
Yeah, like this.
Hang on. Let me click on you. That's it.
Yeah, I was going to use this on that stunt trainer I built, but I was afraid the motor would be spaced out too far because I put the doublers on. So I didn't do it. I just mounted it, but I think that's a great idea.
And just clamp it down, and then if you need a little balance, and you can loosen the screws and slide the motor back and forth, you know. So
yeah,
those are great, and there's no reason not to use that. I think that's the best motor mount there is. It's just a clamp bar rather than running the bolts through the engine to the holes on the engine tabs. You just clamp this bar over it. You got to have a good backing too, that's threaded and possibly helicoiled. Or you can use blind nuts. I like to helicoil the back ones though, and then that's a good tight motor mount. And there are some things. There's also something called keen certs that are probably better than helicoils, but look it up and ask around about it and see what you can find. I haven't tried the keen certs, but they look a lot more dependable than the helicoil.
Yeah.
The brass inserts.
Those are good, yeah, but this is I'm talking about something you can take a piece of aluminum that goes behind the engine, thread holes through it, and then thread. Then that's aluminum, so it's soft. So you get a hard metal insert that screws into that aluminum thread, and it'll be, you know, you got the sizes stepped so that helicoil is the same thread as your 440 engine hold down bolt. And then you do that out far enough away from the engine's tabs so that you can loosen those bolts and slide the engine back and forth if you need to adjust for balance, or take them off and drop a new engine in it, and you don't have to care where the holes are bored. And now the distance, you know, the other distance across the engine might give you trouble, but that's at least one dimension you don't have to worry about, is where the holes are bored, you know, from on each tab. So
yeah, on my engines, all I have is OS's, LA's, 40s, and 46s.
Most of those interchange pretty well, don't they?
Yeah, and I bought a drill jig this past weekend off of Jim Lee.
Yeah.
It's great.
Boring straight holes is a real challenge for me. But doing anything, cutting wood or anything else in a square corner is a challenge for me. But uh, a drill guide's a nice thing to have. If you can, what do? You just lay it across the target area to drill through, and then it's got a hole in it that guides your bit as it goes down.
Yep. And it also has a clamping device on it, because what you do, you build your crutch, you know, and you put this jig on there, and then you tighten it, and then you have a piece of aluminum that goes on the back side of the maple blocks.
Yeah.
And tightens down and holds it. And it's also spaced out where you have your minimum distance for the F1 bulkhead.
Mm-hmm.
It's machined to where you keep that bolted on there after you drill it, and then that way you can place your F1. But I don't even use F1 because I keep that open. I can take my tank in and out. I don't have to worry about drilling holes to run my tubing through the F1.
That can turn out to be one of those last minute details that drives you nuts when you're trying to get a plane finally finished off, is getting those holes in the right place and everything.
Yeah, mainly, you know, I've done some precision work a lot throughout my years. So, you know, I've got my own way of drilling holes for my engines, and they turn out perfect every time. But I mainly got that jig because I'm interested in, when I paint an airplane, I could just bolt that on there, and I've got a contraption that I made.
Yeah.
Huh?
Hold the airplane by the motor mounts. That sounds like an idea.
Yeah, that's what I do. I take an aluminum painting pole or a broomstick and hammer it flat and drill a couple of holes through it, and then make a hardwood block that mounts to the motor mounts, and then 2 big holes through the flat end of the broomstick, and then screw it all down in it. And then I clamp it in a vise. It's about 4 feet long, and then stuff a piece of PVC in it where I can rotate it around in the vise, and it works pretty good as a painting jig. And you know, you can rotate it around, swing it around.
Yeah, I use an air hose connector, disconnect male and female.
Yeah,
that's what I use, and I have it on a one of them construction light stands, some light towers, you know, that stand with a tripod.
Yeah,
that's what I use.
I've just got a small size bench vise that's bolted to a front brake disc off a Pontiac, and that thing's heavier than shit, so it holds it down pretty good. And then I can move it around on top of my workmate too, slide it around. But that's the best vise holder I ever had, is just that old brake disc.
Huh. Yeah, that's a good idea. That's a real good idea.
And then I got my big vise just bolted to the
just last month I had they have in our town, they have what's called town cleanup day.
Yeah.
Do you have that too?
Yeah.
Well, I had, this is no kidding, I had 38 rotors.
Holy shit.
I get some steel collection going on sometimes, and I don't like to throw that stuff away, you know. I usually let it build up, and then I fill my truck, and then I take it in for some money. But man, steel prices went, they took a dive. So it's like, well, cleanup day, I just threw them all out there. And man, them scrappers come around digging through everything throughout the town. They was in hog heaven when they stopped over to my house. Got rid of some.
There.
Huh?
You made some scrappers happy there.
Oh yeah, yep. I even threw some tires out, and they took them too. I was like, good. I didn't want to get rid of some tires, you know.
I hate throwing stuff out that I know is just going to the dump.
Yeah.
You know. I think home recycling is a good thing, but I don't think it actually contributes much to recycling in total. But I think the good part about it is it's got people thinking about it now. And at least, you know, you're throwing your aluminum cans and bottles and stuff like that away. And it's not really logistically helping anything or financially at the recycling places, but I'm glad that people are getting that on their minds more and more, because we have got to recycle everything we've got until we can start mining asteroids. And at that time, we'll never have to dig another hole in the earth, hopefully, but that time's not coming in my lifetime.
Yeah. I live in such a small rural area that a lot of people don't recycle. They don't have trucks that come around and recycle. You know, if you want to recycle, it's all on your own, and you have to gather it all up and take it on in.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like me. My town is about 10 miles west of the big city, or what at one time was the big city of Trinidad, Colorado, that maybe has 6,000 people in it. Cokeville,
Gotcha.
100.
I'm an hour and a half away in every direction away from a big city.
Yeah.
You know, my population here in my town is 750 people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're pushing 1 million now. Hadn't quite got there in Columbia.
Yeah.
And that's the greater metropolitan area, not Columbia City proper.
Yeah. We're 100 if we're lucky, and a lot of our residents are part-time residents. This is an old coal mining town.
Oh, really?
It's small. I love my
Are y'all still mining?
No, they should. It's metallurgical coal they dug here. In fact, this town was named Cokedale for the coke plant for CF&I Steel. There was a big steel operation in Colorado for a lot of years, till the 50s. They're not smart enough to reopen it, even though our president is going to buy steel from.
And what do they use coke for?
The coke is the carbon in carbon steel.
That's what I thought. Okay.
Yeah. And there is high quality.
I don't know, but I tell you what, coke is really good to clean my concrete when I have an oil spot.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
It's black, isn't it?
Oh, you're talking about coca. You're talking about steel. You know, to heat steel up. Okay, I'm talking about regular Coca-Cola that you drink.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that's because it's got phosphoric acid in it.
Carbon steel.
Yeah. Okay. We're talking about two different Cokes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was kind of funny there. I use coke to clean my concrete when you're talking about heating steel up.
Yeah.
You get concrete too hot like that, or you get a torch on there. That's sucking. That thing will pop.
No shit.
Yeah, I've had that accidentally happen. Got the torch while I'm sitting there heating something up.
I had a brand new 1979 Camaro, the first new car I ever bought, and I took it up to a little place called Pine Island at Lake Murray, where they had brick barbecue pits, and you know, you could go up there and pick one and park by it and cook your picnic. And so I had music on, and I opened the trunk because the speakers were in the trunk, and we were blaring music, and all of a sudden one of the bricks in that damn grill exploded and it showered got red hot brick shrapnel all over my new car and filled the trunk up with it. And all the carpet in the trunk started catching on fire. And you want to talk about seeing a boy freaking out. It's brand new Camaro, and all of a sudden it's getting a shower. And that was one of those things that I can laugh at now. But I wasn't laughing very hard back then. I doubt if I'd made 5 payments on that car when that happened, you know. So.
How'd you like to be cutting with a torch and a piece of slag come off and it goes inside your pocket?
I've had that happen before.
Burns a hole through your pocket and it goes on the inside of your thigh and rolls all the way down.
Going off anytime soon either.
Woo! Talk about jumping.
You'd be doing the Mexican hat dance.
Oh yeah, it was. Sure was.
Some kind of a dance. Get that thing out of here.
I've even got done torching off an exhaust, and I'll just set down on my butt and I'll torch off the hangers, you know, off the pipe. And man, I sat down right on a hot piece of slag one time. Woo! Yeah, you know, I stood straight up, but I don't know how I did it because I never used my legs.
Levitation, my boy. That's what that was.
Yeah.
That
hurt. Yep. Had a nice big old blister right on my butt.
Miserable place to have a blister.
Yeah, no kidding. The wife was wondering what hell happened.
Yeah.
Talking about that, I got to go out in the field tomorrow and work on some construction equipment, and I might get off of here.
Yeah.
It's already 11:30 already, my time.
Yeah, it's 12:30 here, and was thinking about going flying tomorrow morning, but I think we're going to have thunderstorms. So.
Yeah. I think it's a good time to call it a night.
Well,
okay.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, well, good. This was my first solo chat host, so I think we did all right. We spent some time talking about glitches, but not too much. So, and I hope the guys over on YouTube are a little encouraged that we paid them a little attention tonight. So, I hadn't been over there lately, but I'll check right as we sign out and see what's going on.
Guess till Wednesday. I'll try to catch up with you guys Wednesday.
Yeah. Take it easy.
Yep.
Good night.
All right.
All right.
Fair winds.
All right. Like everybody, like Sparky always says, let's see, what is it? The fair winds, tight. Oh, don't forget to subscribe, to like, and something else. And fair winds,
hit the
tight
notification
lines.
bell.
Say it again.
The notification bell.
Oh yeah, look at the notification area in the top right corner of your Google and your YouTube to get the link to come in and to the chat with us, and log into or create an account in Google. If you don't already have one, it should be seamless. If it's not, we'll try to start paying more attention to your comments over on YouTube so you can tell us if something specific's going wrong. We can work on it because we're figuring this out too. All right. Good night, everybody.
All right.
Later.